heavily, donks.
Look at us now, tip to tip. This is our life. This is our passion. That's the spirit we bring to this show.
I'm Luke Thomas.
I'm Brian Campbell.
This is Morning Kombat.
Well, look what the cat dragged in, everybody. How you doing? Hi, it's the 24th of February, 2024. It's Two Washed Dads. My name is Luke Thomas. I join you from the capital of Estados Unidos, right here in Washington, D.C., joined by my very washed-out friend who, he's always been white. Today, look at this man. He's the whitest man on earth. It's Brian Campbell. Hello, Brian Campbell.
Yeah, Luke, it's unnaturally bright inside of my office today. In fact, the future is so bright, I'm considering shades, but I don't have time for bad dad jokes, Luke. The Bellator versus PFL pay-per-view starts right freaking now. Are you ready?
Yeah, so let's set this up. We're going to go right to it. We're just going to get into it. Clay Collard is about to fight AJ McKee. Welcome. This is the PFL versus Bellator Morning Kombat broadcast. It's going to be loose. It's going to be fun. Round one is underway, BC. But
Yes.
Real quickly, it's going to be loose today. It's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of jokes. And BC, I hear the award at this show for the best journalist. They get they get their own bone saw to take home. It's going to be
that is just vicious. That is vicious and unnecessary. We're in Saudi Arabia. Good left hand early from AJ McKee. I got to say this, Luke. This matchup screams fun action, doesn't it? Kind of like Spike Carlisle versus AJ McKee.
Oh, AJ McKee is sitting for a guillotine, and I got to tell you, that looks really, really tight.
Ooh,
really tight.
Here, right? Is this more of a?
Yeah, it's kind of because he's got his. I don't know what the guillotine was. No, was not that. He transitions to a triangle. This is going to lose it. He's going to go to omoplata.
Yeah.
Or no, he might get it.
He's going to need more facial hair and shame to pull off a McKenzie team, Luke. I think you know that, right? Yeah.
Yes. He's got the underhook. Clay Collard is in a fair amount of trouble here. There's a good angle on that one, but he might be getting just a little bit loose. He's going to transition to the arm bar.
1 minute into this first round matchup here, lightweight.
Tap. Luke, there it is. That's it. Got it. Got it. Got it. AJ McKee.
Hey, Luke, your feed's ahead of mine. I feel left out of this party. You know what I mean?
That won't be the first party you've been left out of. Let's just be honest about that.
But just like that, AJ McKee puts Bellator on the board. Luke, who are you cheering for in these two companies that are the same, that are going head to head and trying to create a rivalry?
I don't know if I have a rooting interest. I guess I would tell you, we obviously are not doing the regular show, so I didn't get a chance to really get to this, and no one ever asked me questions about the PFL on my live chat. I can just be very honest.
No, they want very expensive life advice. Apparently, Luke.
Yeah, apparently they do. Apparently they do.
Get it, yeah.
But what I was going to say was the fight that I'm interested in most in terms of what it could do is the Johnny Eblin Impa Kasanganay fight, and the reason for that is basically that Yeah, that's a nasty little arm bar, by the way. The triangle is putting pressure on the back of the arm while it's being torqued into an elbow up position. Yeah, look, and he kind of twists his hips behind the other knee. That's a nasty little arm bar. Dude, I got to tell you, AJ McKee's got a few little interesting twists on things that he does that make him unique and fun. Anyway, but the Impa Kasanganay
fights into his lightweight journey, to cut you off, Luke. He absolutely looks like a legitimate lightweight. As much as I like seeing him against these TV fighter level guys, even though Clay Collard was a finalist for the PFL last year, he's above this level, and he just showed that once again.
Yes, he certainly is. Here comes the flag desecration, which is the thing I enjoy the least, as you well know. But the Johnny Eblin fight, I'm curious. I have been, it's sometimes when you say that people in Bellator are good, you get it wrong, right? Where they're obviously good fighters, but I mean, hey, could they beat the very best of the UFC? Sometimes you get that wrong. I don't know what the future holds with Johnny Eblin, but Sean Strickland has talked highly of him. Eric Nixick has talked highly of him. He has gotten a lot better very quickly. He's got a bit of a unique skill set. A lot of those wrestle boxer types that's been fading out of middleweight for a long time. Obviously, there's some of those coming back, but he's one of the better ones. He could be legit. He could be super legit. Now, Impa Kasanganay won the 205 tourney, not the 185 tourney. And I don't think is going to be the toughest test for Eblin, but I guess if Eblin struggles with him, then it would undercut everything. I'm kind of curious to see how he looks, BC.
The problem for Eblin is they don't have a middleweight division in PFL, so he's automatically going to have to be in the Bellator International Championship Series this year. But as Luke, did you hear, Luke, that Prime Drink has taken over in Walmart past Gatorade is the highest seller. That's the Paul brother effect right there. Okay.
How many fist fights have people had?
I mean, you purchased
Prime.
it. You're a consumer, Luke.
So I'll tell you what, I figured out why people love this. It's the sweetest
like
hydration drink on the planet.
Yeah.
It's as close to getting, I mean, it's not carbonated, but it's as close in terms of sweetness to a soda that you'll get anywhere. It's like way sweeter than Gatorade or whatever.
Well, Luke, Morning Combat might not always be there when you call, but always on time, starting this just in time for this opening fight here. I don't know about the whole Bellator versus PFL thing. This is a fun all-star game, Luke. No one cares about this rivalry, though. We can say that openly and honestly, correct?
Yeah, this is, well, let's just be honest. This is, first of all, like, how does the show look? The background of the city lights of the set, they look kind of great. The venue looks great, but it's also got it is quite literally outdoor. So it's got a little bit of the, I can't tell if it's got carnival feels or, the Punch Bowl feels in Carson, California, right? I can't quite figure that out, but this is the best use of the brands, right? Pitting them against each other, doing something unique. Saudi putting some money into it to make it look as nice as possible. The fighters do look dark on camera. I just want to point that out. Like they're not well lit.
Not like my setup right now. Very well lit.
It's the opposite, which yours has all the sunlight. They can't have any sunlight, literally because you're hogging it. I want to point that out. But
did you watch?
This is how it should be done. I watched the Clarissa Shields fight. Yeah.
She escaped one of the worst armbar attempts of all time. Did you see that in her split decision win against Kelsey?
She did. Yeah, the level of skill, not the highest. I also saw Aaron Pico just run quite right through Henry Corrales. So that was good, too. Aaron Pico looks ready for a big jump, like a big one. Like,
a title fight
like
right now.
The time.
His horse looks equally ready to go. And this was a rematch, by the way, with Henry Corrales, who gave him his second pro loss back in 2019. Luke, you remember that first round knockout loss, which was a big part of the Aaron Pico slide. Well, he's gained back some of that mojo with that victory. Would you say so? You might.
Yeah, maybe. First of all, why don't you update the people? How are you, BC?
Oh, hey, let's get into that portion as we see Yoel Romero, the Cuban muscle crisis, as you called him, warming up in the locker room. By the way, I'm unobjectively fired the hell up for Maheta versus Yoel, which we're going to get to in seconds. I'm doing great, Luke. I am doing great, utilizing the time off to better myself.
What is up with your Unabomber beard? What's the story there?
Well, I shaved it off, and that's a big, my wife just hates that. I mean, all of our wives do. I think they get used to us with the beards. They don't want us, to look different. It's starting to come back in right now, but I wouldn't call it Unabomber level. I just have a very slow 5 o'clock shadow. It's more like 4 to 5 weeks, Luke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm being intentionally unfair. Once again, that's the bit, right?
Yeah.
I'm not asking fair questions. They're mean on purpose.
I mean, there's a decent chance you have a better beard on your backside than I do right here, right? There's a decent chance.
Are you asking if my ass is hairy? What are you asking?
Yeah, like either in the tramp stamp area or maybe even more period southern.
I don't have like Billy Goat hair if that's what you're asking, but I don't know if it's like uniquely bad.
Mikey's wondering if you want to comment about the OnlyFans model situation with Johnny Eblin.
Oh,
they had a skit. Did you see that skit they did?
Yes, with Rebecca J. Yes, I know nothing about this woman, and I would be totally unqualified to opine. It would be really speaking outside of my area of expertise if I weighed in on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people think some things about us, Luke, that aren't true. Let me lay out some of the facts here, okay?
You do like appalling pornography. That is true.
I don't subscribe to any OnlyFans channels. I am not on PEDs, Luke. Okay, this is a very natty lifestyle right here. Okay.
All right. Joe asks, does AJ Mackey fight for the Bellator belt or go into the PFL tournament? Dude, stay the hell out of the tournament. Please.
No, I would go the opposite. I think the best thing he could do is go after that million. Go improve himself.
Why? He got paid really well at Bellator. He got paid well.
So
reasonably speaking, he got paid well.
You think he's going pay-per-view series, or you think he's going after the Bellator lightweight title?
It really would depend on what kind of fight he could get and like what for example, if they end up making the Nurmagomedov McKee fight, right? If they end up doing that, where do you put that? Like, what do you like? Just if you're PFL, where do you put that? Do you want to put that on a Francis Ngannou card? You could do that maybe, right? You know, like where you have to figure out how much of a priority. And so if PFL tells him, hey, this is a pay-per-view priority, and there's a way to get money or extract wealth from that, then I would, that's the way I would look.
All right. Luke, to update the people back in Saudi, we are beginning the ring walks here as Yoel Romero enters the cage. And for a man, Luke, who's somewhere between the age of 45 and 75 at the moment, still gets absolutely ripped for these events. You got to give him that credit, right?
Yeah, I mean, Yoel Romero is the Highlander. He is immortal.
Yes.
And has traps from here to the ceiling. So,
and Luke, would you say this fight right here, him against Thiago Santos, is
this fight's gonna suck, right? It's gonna be bad.
No, well, F you, first of all. But second of all, and you're right. And you're probably right. It'll be a lot of threatening, right? It'll be a lot of threatening going on in this cage. Is this the closest thing we can get, RIP, to the great Bellator first round matchup in that $1 million tournament that never happened? Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Yoel Romero.
No. RIP Rumble. I mean, I feel like he still had a little bit. Dude, Thiago Santos, like, when was the last time you thought he was in a great fight, win or lose? He's just kind of looked.
No, Glover Teixeira. Glover
Teixeira. Okay, fair enough, but that's been a while.
Well, he's washed it. I mean, he came to the title level in the UFC late in his career. He had a disastrous double knee injury in the John Jones loss, in which he was very close to winning the championship. And in any attempt to reinvent himself, he's come close. He's been dangerous, but now he's inherently beatable. But it doesn't sacrifice the excitement of watching him fight. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Romero's been in weird ass fights too, like against overmatched guys. Oh, there's John Jones and Mike Tyson.
Oh, John Jones with the headdress, the Middle Eastern traditional headdress. I like that on him.
The keffiyeh, I believe.
Yes. You see him embracing with Mike Tyson there. Who else we got there? Is that Don Davis with two N's right there hugging?
It is. Yeah, that's like Don Davis.
Don Davis, yes. Did you see the captain, Eric Albarracin, posted that video of Mike Tyson coming up to him and talking to him and dabbing him up? You didn't see that? All right.
No.
Look at Yoel.
He didn't text me back. He never, after that whole thing went down, he didn't text me back. He usually responds like right away.
Look, there's the ages. So we have a 40-year-old Maheta, a 46-year-old Romero. A
combined age of 86 with these two. That's
which is the age of the leader of the free world, I believe, Luke.
It will be. It could be.
Pretty soon.
Possible.
Right?
It's on the table. Yeah. It's on the table. All right, so look at these two big old bastards.
Will this fight inherently disappoint us? You're right. Yes. But the road to get to that disappointment is going to be edge of your seat excitement. You got to believe that, right?
No. I got to tell you, I accept that there is a real possibility that this could be good, sloppy fun. But I believe that the correct take is that is not the likeliest outcome here. I hope to be wrong.
I'm already predicting it's going to suck. I'm just saying that it'll be exciting on the way to sucking, Luke. There'll be a lot of threatening, right? A lot of holding that fist in the air. Andy Shepard on the ring announcing here.
I was going to say, who was the woman that they used? She did like WWE stuff as well.
Lillian Garcia.
Yeah, she's great.
She was good. Yeah.
From her.
I believe so. I
guess she wasn't for everybody. I like her. I like her, and I like the backup to Buffer.
Joe Martinez.
Joe Martinez. Yeah, excuse me.
Now Bellator's Michael C. Williams, aka The Voice, on Twitter. Luke, you've compared him to a man driving a cargo van with curtains in the past. I think he's got a decent voice in that.
I don't think I did that. I don't think that's quite true. But he's very nice gentleman. He does a great job. That style is not my favorite style. I don't mean any harm by saying that, but
you mean the predatory van lurking, or more of the announcing you're talking about?
I mean the announcing. That style of announcing is not particularly my favorite.
All right, this fight's going to rule. This is my washed Super Bowl right here, Luke. This is like you and I, like getting on the mic competing right here. These guys are our age bracket.
Yeah, that's pathetic. Yeah.
No. There is a home there's a home for washed fighters when done right. We know this. There is a home for that.
Yes, that's true. And by the
Usually
way,
it's a
reminder
big
for the whole second reminder for the broadcast, everybody. Reminder: elbows are allowed today. Elbows are allowed.
About time.
Fun one.
How much
Brian
of the
Miner,
$100 million investment from the Saudis are they spending on this card, do you think, Luke?
Probably not a ton. The production looks nice. I mean, this is not a cheap looking show. I don't mean that. But you're asking how much they're spending. Way more than the PFL would normally cost, right? Probably that's fair to say, but not an super exorbitant amount.
All right, to be fair, Luke, you're about 3 to 4 seconds in front of me, but you take the lead on the reactions here. But what do you make of Maheta's build coming in at 40? Good enough? Decent enough? Still got it enough?
Well, it'd be very unfair to body shame, but I would say it's not the most ripped I've ever seen him. As Stephen Breadman Edwards would say, BC, maybe you would agree with this characterization. A little bit of loose change. Change.
Okay.
But, 205 versus middleweight. Obviously, both haven't been at middleweight in quite some time, though.
A lot of circling and threatening going on.
This is what me and BC are going to do the next time we're in person together, right here.
Just trip over each other and threaten and make a lot of noise and nothing really happens. Yeah, that's
exactly right.
Look, where would you offhand rank the Maheta Kunitskaya MMA power couple in terms of, the most high profile in the entire sport?
I don't know. I don't know which one. I don't know. I don't even know how many couples there are anymore. Probably not that much, right? Because the ones you do tend to know about are like champions, Okay. Raquel Pennington. Obviously, because she's married to. Are they married? Her and
yes,
Tisha Torres.
Her and Tisha are married.
So they're both UFC fighters, right? So that obviously doubles the exposure. But I don't really know who the power couples are anymore.
The Olivis. That's a big duo, Luke.
Yes, although Benavidez is obviously retired, but she's obviously quite active. Yes, that's a good one.
The Nuneses. I mean, I could go all day here, Luke. You know what I mean?
This is a topic of fascination to you. You enjoy that.
This topic is in my wheel hole, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
All right, so we've got some kicking going on from Romero. That's not doing a whole lot, but it's not nothing, I guess.
Would you compare this fight so far to Black Adam, Luke?
Oh, bit of a stance switch, and then he tries to come in with the overhand right.
Ooh, right hand to the armpit from Romero there.
No, well, this fight would have to suck a lot more to suck as much as Black Adam did.
PFL going with the John Jones cam. I like that. Not much to talk about in the first round here, although I like Dan Hardy's presence on the broadcast. Are you in, Luke, on this all-star combined team of Sean O'Connell, Chael Sonnen, and Randy Couture?
I like them all individually. I don't know how much I like them together. Right? Sean O'Connell, to me, is actually... I don't think people appreciate enough his story. So he's always been in radio. He was in radio even when he was a UFC fighter, and he was really even before he was a UFC fighter. He was really quite good at it. And I remember when the lady who hired me is a lady by the name of Marissa, and I remember when she was looking for fighters to hire, she knew that Sean O'Connell had like a background in radio, so they hired him for the show. And then they were like, "Oh my god, like this guy is like way better than we thought, dude." He ended up. I don't even know if he does any more content on the fight side. But he is like, I don't know West Coast football or wherever Utah is, Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever, which one of those. He's like that guy for SiriusXM now. Like there's like an ACC guy, there's an SEC guy. Here we go. A little bit of action. Okay, no one's really able to land anything sustained. Anyway, just to wrap up, O'Connell now is like moved on from the fight. As I mentioned before, he just does college football for them, and he is their guy. I think he even does play-by-play for some of their games.
Damn, I didn't even know he was into college football. I know he hosts the DAZN MMA show, I believe, with Dan Hardy.
Nah, that's like no. You got to listen to him do football commentary. It's or radio rather, because it's a little bit more than just commentary.
He won $1 million from the Spark Cage at light heavyweight. People forget that.
And then for him to return to be able to do it as a play-by-play host production guy for MMA, dude, you got to be really, really, really good.
Sure.
That he makes that look a lot easier than that is.
He's incredibly smooth for a fighter transitioning into that role. You usually see it as a color analyst. Look at it. Maheta throwing bombs and Romero ducking out of the way.
I'll say this. Not a great first round. Had a couple moments,
sure,
but not awesome either, right?
Chaels,
DC
he's rabid right now. Oh, there's a shot at my guy, Ray Cooper III, Luke. Instant action, instant entertainment. Brah.
Yeah, this guy is, it doesn't take a lot for him to knuckle up. You know what I mean?
This is a pretty badass fight coming up. Him against Jason Jackson all day.
I know, but it was supposed to be Magomed Karamov, which would have been way better. Which isn't to say Cooper can't win. Which isn't to say Cooper can't win. That's not my point. I'm not picking him to win, but Magomed Karamov versus Jackson, I've said it before, that is the best welterweight fight you can make outside of the UFC. And even if they were in the UFC, that would still be a banger of a fight. So, yeah, fun one.
Well, we've suffered a few changes, Luke, when you consider it's supposed to be Patricio Pitbull against the PFL featherweight champion Pinedo. And then he pulled out with a back injury. Then it was going to be that guy, Gabriel Braga, was it?
Yes, Alves Braga, yes.
Then he pulled out. So there we are.
Yeah, thank God, though. It made the main card shorter.
True.
I'm serious, though. Next time they give out the award at Fighters Only for, Media Source of the Year, they should just make it like a trophy bone saw.
Saudi Arabia Combat Journalist of the Year. Yes. Luke, what would be the financial amount to get you to do this live podcast from Riyadh?
It's not even possible, right? It's not even possible.
Because you tend to speak yourself into a high position of morality, but everybody does have a price for the $1 Million Man. I think you would cave. I really do.
I'm not even joking a little bit when I say I don't think it's safe for me to travel there. I don't think it's safe at all. I would not do that.
All right, here we go. You want hot, honest takes? Come to Morning Combat whenever we turn the lights on, all right? And I got all the lights on right now. Look at this, Luke. I feel, hey, Yanni the Greek, close your mouth here, all right? I want to be able to sleep tonight, right? Yeah, okay.
All right, here we are. Next time we go down to, sorry, Mikey, I didn't see your messages. Next round, I'll start counting us in. Apologies, everyone. And thank you for joining us, by the way. Hey, welcome. We'll be here for the whole main card, as good or as bad as it is. And BC, so far this round, sucks balls. Let's just be candid about that, shall we?
But still, a lot of threatening and innuendoing and circling. Look at that right hand by Maheta right there. Damn, Luke, that was quick, right? Reminded you of.
Is it my imagination, or is the lighting so top down that their faces are all obscured a little bit?
Yeah, it's like they're fighting in a closet right now. Remember that scene in Teen Wolf, Luke, where they did that makeout game and then Teen Wolf scratched Boof's back and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you were there, right? You grew up the same time I did. You were just in Valdosta. Hey, Luke, I never really realized it's basically on the redneck Riviera, Valdosta. I thought it was an Atlanta suburb this whole time. You basically
Marietta's an Atlanta suburb. That is very, very true.
You basically grew up on the Florida-Georgia line, Luke. You should be listening to much more country and drinking Bud Light and stuff.
I used to listen to country when I was a early teenager. I used to listen to a lot of country. And then I was like, this shit sucks. And I stopped.
Okay, there you go. Hey, did you see Kid Rock on that podcast drinking Bud Light the other day?
Oh, was he on Rogan?
Yes.
Now he's all in on the Bud. I used to machine gun this shit. And now I just drank it.
Now I just drank it. Yeah. All right. This fight sucks. You were right the whole time, but this is like a movie sequel that it's going to be bad. Unlike Dune 2, which is going to blow your face off next week, Luke.
I even checked up on that. 147 reviews last I checked are already in with critics. 147 reviews with critics. 97% fresh. 97.
Dude, I'll tell you this. Web Scream was right. that director, Denis Villeneuve. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, he's
about,
a
Luke?
beast. Yeah, he's a beast.
He's the hottest Spaniard since Ilia Topuria. Would you say? Would you go that far?
Yeah. That's a little much, but
okay. Well, have you seen your Twitter account lately since Ilia won it, Luke? I mean, it's like we just moved to Real Madrid, you know?
I'm sorry. Are my tweets bothering you? Is that what's happened? You don't care for my tweeting? Is that what happened?
I just can't see the rest of my timeline from the size of your Topuria Bonaire, Luke. If you know where I'm going with this, all right?
I mean, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a massively interesting story with a guy who's got potential in the game, unlike anybody else currently kind of competing, to be quite honest with you.
He is kind of like a German, Georgian, Spaniard version of Conor McGregor, right? You could go that far.
It remains to be seen if he will. But the potential is like genuinely significant. Like there's real reason to believe. Oh, good leg kick by Romero. Oh, another good one. Oh, okay, all right.
We cheering calf kicks right now, but okay, I'll take it. I'll do that with you if you want.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Look, I was thinking.
Go ahead, BC.
I was thinking we used to be the best show like of all time in combat sports history.
Yeah,
I think we can be even better than that in 24.
Do you?
Yeah, like I'm thinking in 24, people are like, oh, these guys are going to come back. They're going to be like, an extra washed version of themselves. There'll be a lot of promises and no payoffs. I think we're going to come back and take back over the entire business.
Yes.
I'm not here to take part, Luke. Okay. Oh, Francis Ngannou sitting next to
Francis.
Yes. Is that Dr. Mike behind them? No.
Somebody with a Wayne Newton haircut, though. Look at that. Francis with the shades on inside. It's like, Francis, we know you can't see well with those. It's okay to take them off, my guy.
You got to say this about Turki Al-Sheikh, Luke. Dana White, unable to get John Jones and Francis Ngannou in the same building. Turki Al-Sheikh went like that, and here we are. Correct? He went like that, and here we are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Basically, yeah, that's correct. I can't disagree with that.
Real question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Turki, in a boxing sense, Turki Al-Sheikh is trying to disrupt things where it's almost like promoters don't matter, networks don't matter. If he says, I want to make the fight, basically, short of the PBC yet, people are bending over and saying, please, tell us when. Is there any chance he tries that with Jones versus Ngannou on the MMA side and basically says, I don't care about promotional lines. I care about hard cash. You guys are both on the same network, UFC and PFL. Let's make this fight and let's make it in Riyadh, and everybody swims in millions. And then we behead you after that. But short of that comment.
I will tell you, I think it's a reasonable thing to wonder. It's like they're able to move in a sport where people are already making more than they are in MMA. Saudi Arabia, again, putting the moral complications to the side for just a second, just in the economic sense and what they bring to the table, they've been moving mountains in boxing. Genuinely moving mountains, at least in the heavyweight division, and we'll see, what else they can do. But it's been remarkable, fast, and big, and relevant. It's like if you're the UFC and you're being sued for antitrust stuff, it's like this is a one thing you could really do that I think would not really, as I mentioned before, not really threaten their business and potentially be a lot of winning in a lot of different directions. But dude, they just don't. They don't want to do that stuff. I cannot believe they haven't settled, dude. I cannot. We haven't talked about this at all. I cannot believe they have not settled. I am shocked by that. Absolutely.
Okay, Maheta's left wheel. He's got a flat tire on his left wheel. You see that? He's limping. Ooh, flying knee from Romero.
Bit. Romero tries to throw him by, pick the knee.
In. We got to count these fans in, Luke. They have to know what clock to watch, all right?
Yeah, I know. I'm doing a bad job. My bad.
I'll
read it out here in just a second if you want to time it up. I'm at 317, 316, 315, 314, 313. I'll go to 312, 311, 310.
Yeah. Omaha Styley.
Oh, Maheta punching his way out of the clinch.
Oh, good combo there. Yeah.
Bit of a sausage fest there, huh?
Yeah, you and I just were silent. I wanted to see how long we could go being silent, but I had I had a lot of Chael jokes related to the Luxor in my head. I just couldn't pull it out in time, Luke. You know what I mean? It was great.
Why is he wearing 1970s like semi shades? Does he have like?
He
And
looks
I'm being
like
serious.
a-
Does he have?
I thought he's just trying to look like a pit boss in 1977, or like a low level made guy.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an eye condition. If there is, obviously, then we're just joking. But
Yeah.
it is it's eye catching. It's eye catching. Ooh,
He's big punches there from Romero. I don't think they landed clean though. I will say this, Luke. Chael gets busted on at times for maybe not having typical color commentator chops. He also gets busted on for sometimes he sounds like he makes shit up. But as a personality, he's still to me like top shelf entertainment. Like I want him on broadcast in the same way I want
Chael.
DC. In the same way I want DC in that chair for the big ones, I want Chael on the broadcast somewhere. That's what I want. He's Teddy Atlas of MMA. That's what he is.
Yeah. No, I love Chael. I don't mean that. Again, these are just jokes. What did you think of the Bisping? Was it Bisping Cruz? Yeah, the Bisping Cruz commentary team. No,
It
was Bisping Rogan Anik, right?
Yeah. I don't want Bisping on the pay-per-views. That's just my personal opinion as a fan. I think he's better on the desk or as a podcaster, Luke, okay?
Okay. Kevin writes, imagine if the Watchalong party had anything to do with it.
Well, I mean, have you ever had a party for fights over your house? Conversations are breaking out left and right. We're just
I mean, guys, we're not missing Hagler Hearns here, okay? Just lighten up. All right.
I mean, look, what's your scoreboard here entering the final minute?
It looks to me like Romero is doing just enough to kind of stay ahead and manage like a low volume affair, being a little bit more active, defensively responsible, doing a little bit more leading to the extent that matters. Although I think Ben Cartilage is one of the judges here.
So, Luke, I was closing saying I thought Michael Bisping's the worst pay-per-view level announcer they have. That's what I was trying to say out loud, all right?
Ooh. Yeah. Maheta's, you're right. The right leg, maybe?
I was right about Bisping, too.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Both guys landing some big shots there. They're just winging big shots.
Yeah, big one from Yoel with that looping left, final seconds. So, yeah, we got nothing out of this, but I'll do it again if they want. I mean, I'm sold already, Luke. I love these two, all right?
I don't think this was the worst version of what it could have been, not by a million miles, but it wasn't great. 3 rounds in the books. Now, by the way, I tweeted this. Real quickly, I tweeted this. Now, they are putting up other stuff on the broadcast that is of questionable value, but have you noticed, and maybe I missed it earlier, I'm not seeing a lot of graphics with like, this guy had the fastest leg kick. This one was the most, whatever, like shit you couldn't possibly care about. They don't have nearly as many of those graphics on this broadcast. I want to tell you, I'm grateful for that. That's a welcome improvement.
Nice wholesome moment there between Yoel and Brazilian Shrek, Luke.
Conan.
Yes. A great coach,
nice guy.
Conan Silveira. Great, very nice guy. Very nice guy.
His son lost to Impika Sanganai in the 205 tournament, and that was the fight that was in DC. I went to that one.
Is there someone you could give me off the PFL extended Bellator roster that you would like to see Yoel Romero against on a pay-per-view? Obviously, I'm thinking more of a veteran fighter who can make a fun one, but is there someone that we're... Probably not, Luke. Probably not.
I mean, I guess the question is, if you gave him like an A-level guy, would the A-level guy bring the fight to him in a way where he couldn't play the slowdown game? If you could give him that, like, does Corey Anderson do that for him? I don't know if he does.
I mean, I'd watch the crap out of that fight. I was trying to like dial danger and say, is there any scenario where Romero would face Ngannou? That's where I'm trying to lead you to, Luke.
Dude, who the fuck would pay for that?
It's my job to do this.
Be serious.
I
Okay,
mean,
Octopus with no friends says, the PSI on that ninja choke was enough to choke out a female elk. Okay, that's a little much. That's
All
a
right, we'll handle
strong
the dad
strong
jokes from
description.
here on
That's.
out. Okay, yeah, okay.
Did you see the bulldog choking Invicta and the girl peed on the floor? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I mean, what in the name of Justine Kish is going on here, Luke? Here's the thing. The Kish thing, to be fair and unfair to her, we've had fun with that for years. That piss thing was so gross that I think even R. Kelly turned the screen off at some point. It's just like a little too much, Luke, you know?
From prison, is that what he did?
Yeah, that's what he did. Thank you. Peter Murray in the cage with maybe the Saudi governing board of entertainment, maybe, possibly. Could be ushers too. Not the usher, not the halftime show Marvel from the Super Bowl, Luke. I'm talking about these guys could be ticket takers, but I just basically made them sultans. I must be talking to myself at this point. You know what I mean?
I'm just letting you go. I'm just gonna let you go.
Thank you. I'll get it out. We'll move on. Okay. Wow.
Who won the fight? Dan Chael judges.
All right, Dan and Chael picking Yoel here. I think Yoel deserves the nod as well.
What do you think of the setup, BC? I gave my take on it. What's yours?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's cool. It's not bad. It doesn't suck. It's not great though.
The outdoor part, do you love it or not?
I think it's cool. I think that's worth doing.
You do? Okay. All right.
I mean,
hey, Mikey, can we put up a poll? Can we put up a poll for the people watching the broadcast? I would love to get a poll going. And let's ask them if we... It goes to Romero. Fair enough. Yoel Romero defeats Thiago Santos. Okay. Can we get a poll going asking, do you like the outdoor look of this show? Do you like the outdoor look of it? I'd be curious to see what the folks have to say.
Look, you got a poll up. We might attract some strawweights turned to OnlyFans models, you know?
That you subscribe to.
No, that is not true. That is not true. No subscriptions and no Ozempic for me either. But Luke, I could sit here and brag about myself, but you have been hitting the front yard during the off season. I think the people can see that. You know what I mean?
I have been in the weight room. Yeah, I have not slacked off at all. To the point where I got my wife into it now a little bit, and we worked out from home today.
Nice.
And it went well. It was good. Everyone did a great job. I was pretty pumped for that. So,
would she ever consider getting back on the mats?
She definitely wants to, but it's just we both work well. You know, this past month has not been necessarily that case, but in general, you know, the schedule that we typically keep just doesn't really allow for it. So it's just too much. It's like it's too much time away. Dude, we get a kid, man. It's hard. It's really hard. It changes a lot. It changes.
That's what Antonio Cromartie is always talking about. You know, it's like it costs him so much money. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, my wife has a friend who is one of 13 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
All right. So who's next on this nubber of a card? Okay. Vadim Nemkov makes his heavyweight debut against Bruno Capoloza.
Here's the thing. The fights are pretty good on paper. You got to say that. Like this Capoloza and Nemkov fight, it kind of rules. It kind of does. It doesn't suck. I'll tell you that. All right.
This is the issue to me with the PFL, right? And I made this point. Here we are covering it to a degree. This is the most PFL coverage, frankly, we've ever done. Like, you know, take that for what it's worth.
Well, you did go there in person in DC at the anthem for the championships. Okay.
I did, but this is, you know, 3+ hours of dedicated coverage is something we just haven't done before. The issue is not that it doesn't look good or that they don't have quality. They do. They have quality everywhere. The issue for me is the PFL just feels a little bereft of identity or personality. It feels very much like a Frankenstein of a promotion that you would construct to generate revenue, you know, to make sure you have like the bells and whistles of the technical product done reasonably well. But like, for all of Bellator's faults, it did for at various times have like a clear identity. Certainly Strikeforce did to an extent. You know, obviously Pride had a huge one. I just feel like the PFL doesn't quite have that. And maybe now it will start to develop one over time with this new sort of state that it's in. But that's my issue with it a little bit.
Well, yeah. You know, if you criticize the UFC for making Dana the face of it for financial reasons over the years, maybe PFL shouldn't have made this intelligent fighting arena, the damn smart cage as sort of its robotic face, Luke. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, there's John Jones and Chael Sonnen together on set. Dude, I don't know what Chael's been saying recently, but up until like at least a year ago, he was saying like real negative shit. You know what I mean? Chael, there.
It's all business. It's all happy times. Now, back to that Turkey al-Sheikh thing and the idea of bringing Jones and Ngannou together. I think going through Disney would be the only way that can work. And I don't even know if they'd take his phone call, but I'm saying using the network, which carries the exclusive properties of both in the US, Luke, isn't that the move? If you would like to do something wacky like that?
I'm sorry, I just was not listening. I didn't hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's a typical broadcast for Morning Combat here. Only this time we turn the cameras on. Yeah, all right, it's been great. Yeah, okay. Well, John's in a headdress, you know.
What did he say? I need someone to tell me what he said. Do we know? Anybody know what he said?
Cheering for Francis to win
against Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, yeah, because of his story.
What's your level? How are you? First of all, Fury Usyk getting moved and everything. How are you feeling about that? Where are you at right now on that?
I mean, I'm not going to, go the Usyk camp level and accuse Fury of gigging himself. You know what I mean? Of like going blading to get out of the fight. I think the most ridiculous part of that scenario was that Turkey al-Sheikh instituted an unheard of $10 million penalty if either fighter pulls out of this rescheduled date, May 18th, for any reason whatsoever. Can you imagine that like a promoter or network head in any of these combat sports was like, yeah, not only guarantee this fight's going to happen and it's going to be great, but if one of these guys dies, their family owes us 10 million for the inconvenience. I mean, that's what it kind of feels like. But in terms of the sporting sense, I'm fired up for it still. Even though things in the combat sports landscape have been a slow start, certainly in boxing, very slow. PBC taking the first 3 plus almost 4 months off to get set up in their new situation over at Amazon. With all that said, the best fight on paper this quarter, it still actually might be Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. And I never thought I would say that, not with a absolutely loaded UFC 299 coming up. 298 was great. 300's got a mixture of a lot of great things going on and some in ill-timed spots. But look, you have to agree that the whole, like, I just can't miss it factor of Ngannou versus AJ and the fact that Francis literally could be an upset victory away from fighting for the championship, only like in a sense that he would have earned the opportunity rather than like Tyson Fury doing that weird non-title fight that they had. This is the biggest fight in all of combat sports. It is, Luke. It really is. The thing friggin' is. Are you even on the show with me? Is this a?
I am. You're still talking. That's.
There we go.
I'm trying to let you finish. That's okay. I'm not quite as high on everything as you. I was high up until it got canceled, and I realized it's not far away, but it kind of diminished things. And here's the thing, man. Like, if you're Anthony Joshua, you saw Fury. He probably took Francis light, right? He probably did on some level. Mm-hmm. And so, Fury got a little bit of a wake up call. Like, Joshua, I don't feel like is going to make the same mistakes. What you're really kind of hoping for is he somehow gets chinned off of making something, even though he might be well prepared for this. That seems unlikely, So
are you predicting that AJ wins a purposely boring boxing match in which he's trying to avoid at all times and just use speed and technique to try to, because I don't know, dude, I rewatched that Fury fight recently with Ngannou. That counter hook he landed to drop him, what was that, the third round? That counter shot, dude, that's no accident. That was not lucky punch. It was
well timed.
The look on Fury's face of not just the level of power, but the idea of like, I didn't think you could execute that against me. That was the turning point moment. I mean, that's the moment where Fury kind of packed it in and just said to himself, how do I win this? How do I get out of here? Right? Like, how do I do this? I think AJ is more likely to respond much more negatively to that than Fury ever did. And Fury kind of did respond negatively to it. He kind of went into control mode after that. Dude, AJ might be running after that, right? Am I wrong? I mean, or is this the new AJ? Dude, the new AJ did not run against Otto Wallin. He walked right through that MFer.
He did. I don't think I would expect much more Andy Ruiz too from Joshua, candidly. But if he's dialed in, that's a perfectly reasonable path to victory. Obviously Ruiz is different than Ngannou, but jab and stick and move, right, is a sort of euphemistic way to describe it
between those two guys. I mean, look, I'm not going to clown on anyone because if mental health was involved or whatever, it is what it is. Although we can clown on Ruiz blowing his opportunity after that big upset, but the shape he came in Saudi Arabia against Joshua in that rematch, I mean, it was like what? It was like how much more? It was like 40 or 50, 60 pounds heavier than the first fight. In the first fight, he was also fat, but he took it on last second notice.
He was so fucking fat. He was divorced dad, hot pockets fat. I mean, just the end of the world fat.
Okay, I have an armchair psychologist question to ask you, and I'm being serious here. Buster Douglas did the same thing after he upset Mike Tyson, right? Against Evander Holyfield in the first title defense and got knocked out very early. He wasn't in shape, wasn't mentally focused. You get it. Was it something like that? Or do you think Ruiz just enjoyed the limelight he received too much? Because I don't know if you remember when his girl broke up with him last year, she posted that Instagram story that basically painted him as a
story, a bunch of stories.
Yeah, that basically painted him as in all gas, no brakes lifestyle involving every sin possible. What do you think happened that night? Why am I on this topic? Because it's great. It's great content.
Yeah, he looked to me like he was making a lot of irresponsible financial decisions. That's what it looked like to me. Just paying for, God, all the things a man should not be paying for, he was paying for it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like a Marine.
60% of the poll, by the way, okay, according to Mikey, 60% of the poll says they like the outdoor look. Again, I don't hate it. It. It's just, it's not well attended right now, right? Like, you don't feel the crowd, like, it was interesting. The crowd in DC, I didn't know how that venue was going to work, because it's one of those venues, BC, where there's a stage and then the rest of the room is behind it. It's not like an arena where you can sit stuff in the middle. You know what I mean? And so I was wondering how that was going to go, but they made it work. BC just arting all over. Yeah, you forgot the F. What I was going to say was they actually did a great job. They actually found a way to kind of center the action, even though it wasn't this sort of 360 kind of panorama. It was really, the sound was good. The crowd was lively. I don't know how I feel about this crowd. They kind of feel like they're just there,
Yeah, I can understand that. That's not an inaccurate portrayal, but I do think it looks better than you realize. I mean, it's kind of like, it looks a little like a Bellator card would look in some ways, right?
It does, with the big screen behind it. That's very Bellator-y. So here comes Vadim Nemkov, who does not look like, obviously he's got a little more loose change, but he's up at heavyweight this time, BC.
Oh, he's jacked as shit right now. Give him that. Give him that credit.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a hammer. I mean, he looks
like Malikan right now.
Do you think he beats Ankalaev? Do you think he beats Walker? Do you think he beats Pereira?
I think he would beat Walker. I think he could beat Ankalaev, but wouldn't. And I think the Pereira fight is a 50-50.
I think it was smart for him to go to heavyweight. I think
it might just be. It might just be perfect for him. You know what I don't like is his coach Fedor trying to get in shape for an Ngannou fight or a Mike Tyson.
I'm out on that one. I'm out on that one for sure.
And I also don't believe that Ryan Bader wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Nor should he. Nor should he want to, right, Luke?
Yes. So here we go. Vadim Nemkov, man, like a tight end, 238.1 pounds. His opponent, Bruno Capoloza, is 236.2. So a couple of the guys who are basically light heavyweights, if they wanted to be. Here we go in a crossover.
This is a big opportunity for Capoloza because 2 years ago, we'd never heard of him, and then he won the PFL championship, and he had really quick hands, small size, but a lot of heart. He kind of looked like a mini-me version of Junior Dos Santos or something, Luke. And then he had the drug test failure last year that pulled him from the tournament. I think or maybe there was an extra season in between where he got injured and lost there too. But he was never able to capitalize on that buzz that he created. I think now with the drug test thing, there's got 34 years old. It's time now to put it together. This should be like the biggest win of his career by far. But like this could make him. This fight right here could make this man. You know,
he's got Bruno has a 2-inch reach advantage, and he has a 2-inch height advantage, a 3-inch reach advantage. Nemkov a longer leg. The leg length measurement. I actually do like that one, but I still haven't quite figured out how much it correlates in the same way that reach might on the feet with the hands. But this is a fun one, BC. I'm excited about this one.
Luke, I see a message in my internal Slack here from MK regular Shaquille Majora. You know Shaq, right?
He said he loves to text. Here we go. I'm going to count you guys in when we do it. Don't worry.
He said Sean O'Connell was not so subtly calling out the UFC for preventing the Jones and Ngannou matchup, and Jones had to basically take that analysis and hold the microphone and not say anything so he could keep his employers happy. So it is an awkward situation. Then again, it's the same network, though, Luke. It is the same network, which is weird, but it is. It's
the same network, and the Saudis would probably help pay for it. We can have this fight. Like, it's a thing. Dude, we could do.
Pay for it. They'd pay for all of it. They'd pay. They gave Joshua $85 million for that Ruiz rematch. $85 million.
85. That's a nice chunk of change.
All right, this is going to be a fight here. This is going to be good. I think the question here, Luke, is Vadim, I think, is more technical without question. But
he's not as dangerous as Bruno.
No, definitely not. Bruno's got to welcome Nemkov to heavyweight here. He's got to box him and make this a fight. Let's go. All right, let's go.
All right, so Nemkov is getting introduced. There he is.
I mean, you'll say it. Is this card a pay-per-view? The answer is no. But
no, fuck no. This thing is going to tank.
It's got pay-per-view-esque like moments on it. Like there's some fights that are like, damn, that's intriguing. If only there was if only Ngannou was in the main event. Really, that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like if he was in the main event, this would be a real pay-per-view without question. It'd be an incredible show. True or false?
Only if his opponent was somebody we cared about.
Would you care about Renan Fajeda?
I don't hate that fight. I don't know. But it's going to bomb on pay-per-view. It's going to bomb on pay-per-view. All right, here we go. Kerry Hatley is your referee. I will count you in on my clock, and we'll get you going here. Here we go. Kerry Hatley he's got the Google Glass. Yo, put on some Apple, whatever the fuck they're called.
You notice Zuck not showing up for these ESPN MMA cards right here.
There's no Mackenzie Dern. Here we go. And they tap him in. I'll read the clock to you. Here we go. As soon as they put it up, it is 4:55, 4:54, 4:53, 4:52, 1-0.
I also have to see how if Nemkov's still quick, Luke, with all this added muscle, because he looks like a strong man now.
Okay, doesn't look like a strong man. He just looks like
I see a lot of creases in that back. All right, it looks like Backzilla.
Bruno backing up straight. That's going to get him in trouble.
So, Luke, a point I was going to make was if
nice entry into the double. That was great.
Yeah, Nemkov in control in the clinch here. If Renan Fajeda knocks out Ryan Bader spectacularly, that would change the Ngannou equation a little. You can't argue with that. I'm not here to allow you to argue with that.
Sure. No, I think that's reasonable. Sure. All right, so they're jockeying for position along the fence. No one's really getting ahead. Failed takedown it was good timing, but failed takedown by Nemkov.
I did not see Fedor in his corner. Can you confirm that, Luke?
I didn't either, but I wasn't really looking.
I was probably distracting you with straight nonsense. Probably.
Oof. Nemkov is getting real close off the double jab and then the right. He's backing up and then sort of obviously waiting for a couple of those to come straight into him, and then he's punching his way out, but he there's so much space behind him, he can't get a lot going.
He's more technical than Bruno here. I got to see Bruno put some combos together. It's a smart move by PFL to put Dan Hardy on the pay-per-view broadcast, actually on the desk right now, rather than just interviews.
Yeah, agreed.
Oof. Oh, there he is. There's Fedor. He's here.
Ah, okay.
You ever wonder what he reads, Luke?
It's been one of the main riddles of my life. You piece of trash. You stupid piece of trash. Ooh. Nemkov's hand to kick combos are some of his best work. He's really, really good about setting that stuff up.
If he has no problem carrying this frame with his speed, and it looks no problem right now, he could be a problem here at heavyweight. This could be a legitimate thing. Look, he's going to fight Ngannou.
I got to tell you, I don't know if he's physical enough for heavyweight. Like, he's a 6-footer at heavyweight. Like, dude, Renan Ferreira is a fucking monster in this weight. He's a monstar in this weight class.
Yeah, he is against a smaller heavyweight here. There's no question. But you saw the excitement in my voice merely because there's a lack of credible Ngannou options, obviously, under this banner. And why the hell did JDS sign with Game Bread MMA, Luke? I mean, you serious? You know what I mean?
Maybe he got a bunch of money.
Not the same as Riyadh money, all right?
That's true.
Or maybe
That's
it is. Maybe it comes from the same place. I really don't know, Luke. You know, I really don't know.
I'm glad we're not getting a bunch of tournament fights. I can tell you that.
Sure. Hey, Nemkov's kind of like sunning him here a bit. I mean, he's putting him where he wants him, Luke.
Yeah, he's got Bruno now really reacting. Now he's doing a lot more pushing, a lot more leading. Bruno a lot more hesitant to come in. His face is starting to wear it, change his stances. A lot of these high kicks are giving Bruno a lot of problems.
Luke, would you like to amend your lack of pop and wow factor when I referenced Nemkov's back before? I mean, this guy, Luke, you know, it's like Ian Heinisch just walked in the room.
I didn't say he's not muscular, but he looks much more muscular at 205.
No, he's first team all bod here, as Shab would say, Luke.
Okay, why don't you just blow him? I mean, do we need to, like, you know,
Wow.
call a halt to the
Okay.
broadcast so you can
Well,
catch a
you know,
flight?
get in line behind Okamoto and Ortega, obviously, right? I mean, come on. Wow. A big night for Brian Ortega. His career's on the line tonight, Luke.
You're not kidding.
Or maybe his ranking. Probably his, hopefully his
Good
ranking.
thing that story about the eagle he told was just, I mean...
Oh, yeah. That was
just,
a great
he
moment.
literally went up there and just did like a meme video. He like recited what he saw on a meme video. And I was like, damn, man, that's real tragic. Didn't need to be that way. All right, we're in between rounds.
There's
And
that-
the two guys
that
who run the
gaudy
PFL
belt.
are on their phones.
What do you make of that championship belt that they're giving to the winners of these champion versus champion fights?
I like one. People hate them, and I know people hate them. I love one's big ass belts. Like, it's bigger than all of Demetrius Johnson. Like, it just is these fucking enormous. But I love that shit. So this one is like okay to me. It's not bad, but again, it like doesn't have.
It's unnecessary.
It just feels like it was made, dude. Everything they do feels like they focus group tested it first.
I know.
You know what I mean?
This is just as lame as when the WBC puts a belt when there's no title at stake, but they're like, no, this is the battle for freedom title, and you're like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like it's always wacky colors too.
Yeah, dude. There's no one in the audience. Like, it looks like the nicest fairgrounds I've ever seen or something. You know what I mean? Like the sound, like the stage there is extremely nice. Like it looks good, but relative to the backdrop, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, I'll count a little bit here. I'm sorry, 444, 443, 442, 441, 440. And by the way, they're coming out firing in round 2 here.
Yeah, big first round though for Nemkov. This is Bruno's chance to, if you're gonna do something, do it now.
Ooh.
You gotta bring the fight to him, Bruno.
Dude, Nemkov is moving forward through the exchanges without rolling. It's a little bit dangerous.
What do you think Bruno got popped for, Luke? And Androlol, Stanozol, Luke? What's your favorite?
It definitely wasn't creatine. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Luke, did you know that John Cena was clean his whole run, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him say that, and I'm like, dude, who? I'm sorry, what? Like, who is that? Who is that for? Is that only
I
to
mean-
say because you don't want to admit it to affect any potential acting gigs or something like that? You know, is that it? Oh, Capelloza with he cracked him. He cracked him over the top of the left hand of Nemkov. It was a counter right, but now Nemkov picks him up and takes him down. Great job by both men there. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, but Nemkov took that momentum in his and put it in his direction though. I mean, he got lit up and he just turned that right.
Okay, but there's still 3:20 left in the round. Let's see how it goes from here.
But I'm saying that's a veteran move, Luke. That's a championship move right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he
might have an arm triangle here. He might have an arm triangle here. He might. It looks like that he should have it here. He should have it here.
Oh, Bruno's out. He's out cold.
That's it. He's done. That's done. Wow, nicely done.
Dude, that was a demolition. That was a demolition right there.
This was what I thought Bo Nichols should have done against his last opponent. And again, the game has changed a little bit where you don't have to do that. But this is what I referenced, getting all the way off the body to create the most angle possible. But either way, they're all a bunch of right answers. Vadim Nemkov, winner by submission. Hey, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. He got a little bit of trouble and he closed the show.
And the fact that he instantly turned his most troublesome moment into what finished the fight, it was almost, Luke, Habib-esque against Gaethje, right?
Okay, that's a little much. Habib never got rocked. No.
Yeah, but Justin was one. You could argue Justin was one calf strike away.
Right, but I don't have to argue it here. He was visibly rocked here. Great awareness, great double. Goes into half. Let me see how he set it up. Obviously, he had great posture when he needed it. But let's see. I guess he got. Obviously, the whole issue is you can't let your arm. If this is your center line, you just can't let. Whenever you're fighting someone off who knows what they're doing, you can't let your arm get across your center line. If your arm gets across your center line, that's where all the problems begin. So that's why you see these wrestlers, they pin their elbows to their ribs and they have their hands as their first line of defense and they don't want to extend because if you can get behind the elbows or cross over the center line, that's when all the problems begin to emerge, right?
Damn right. Hey, Luke, I never got your reaction to Mackenzie Dern's further implosion.
She had that nice double in the first round, which I loved. And I was like, more of that. But she was in better
shape. She was in like title level shape, it seemed like. But
yeah. So what I would say about that is she is who she is. I'm not saying that there's not some level of getting better that she could get, but it's probably not going to be a ton. If she's had this much time, and at age 32, I believe she's now still at this level, which in certain
30,
cases,
Luke. Come on.
She's 30. Okay, if she's 30, it doesn't look great. I am not inspired by her development.
Like just 9 lives. We still won't cut her. We still won't, divorce ourselves, Luke, from the idea.
I wouldn't pick her to win. I wouldn't pick her to win against the elite of that division. I can tell you that.
I think it's the toughness that keeps us around, Luke, because she was tough as hell in that fight.
She's no Guerra. I tweeted this that night. She's no Guerra tough. Like,
but at the same time, her celebration, her ill celebration was embarrassing. Would you say that? It was a little embarrassing.
Would you thought she won?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think she did it on purpose. It just, dude, I don't judge people by what they say and do right after they've had a 15-minute fist fight. You know what I mean?
Fair.
You gotta let them come down a little bit. They're gonna say and do crazy things. It's what they do when they're calm and then have a chance to think about it. So I don't judge them for that. But I'm not inspired by her development. It's gone terribly, terribly. I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know if it's her coach's fault. I don't know if it's her fault. I don't know if it's both. I don't know. I have no idea. But it has gone very poorly. Yeah.
Yeah, it really has. So Mike Tyson put the championship belt on the shoulder of Nemkov and they embraced. This is a lot of pomp and circumstance pushed in our face, but it's actually not being done that badly. You would have to agree with. Look, I'm going to tell you all night that you're going to have to agree with me because I'm on fire right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The belt it looks a big ass pizza tray. I mean, it doesn't look that
great. What did you win? You didn't even beat the champion. Like, it was a great fight. It was a great performance. But what I'm saying is these guys were not active champions. So why does he get a championship belt?
Hold on. I think you might get a face-off between Fedor and Mike. It looked like Fedor was asking him for it. Yeah. And there's Mike Hogan, by the way. If everyone wondering who Mike Hogan is, this is Mike Hogan.
Oh, he's going to translate Mike Hogan, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, he speaks
look,
Russian.
You can understand this ridiculousness. He wasn't even a champion. This is his heavyweight debut. Why does he get a ceremonial title? What does it mean?
I guess he gets the, what you call it, the
it's
super
worthless.
fight.
It's
belt.
worthless.
It's the same one you got. It's a similar. For example, if in the heavyweight Grand Prix, Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix, if you ended up as the champion, you would get the championship belt, and you would get a belt for winning the tournament.
But it was
there was no tournament here.
So yeah, there's nothing. So what I'm saying is this is gratuitous, and we already have a problem in boxing with too many belts. This just makes it look ridiculous. But that's just my, we're curmudgeons. We're those two old guys in the Muppets theater. That's what they pay us for, right?
Yeah. So he got him squared up along the fence, was able to get underneath him. Great job lifting and turning. And then I didn't see exactly how he got his hand across there for the finish, but phenomenal job. Great overall. But that's Vadim Nemkov. Like in the stand-up, he's much more technical, but he's not as threatening necessarily right away as Bruno is. But look at how well-rounded Nemkov is. That was a good win.
What do you do with Nemkov here? I think he fights Ngannou eventually, but is it going to be? Does he go to Bellator and compete for their heavyweight championship? Does he do the heavyweight tournament for $1 million? Or do you just automatically make a guy like that part of your pay-per-view division? They got too many storefronts. They got two. You're right. They got four areas because they also have those international junior leagues that they got. That is, they spread too thin. They have. You can say that out loud.
Don Davis got the pinstripe double-breasted joint going. Don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's a but yeah, it looks bad. Another piece of honesty. I don't have a grudge against him, Luke, but it doesn't look good.
Ray Sefo, Silver Fox, but wearing some chunky ass shoes. See, look, this is what I mean. Like, does anyone there seem jazzed? Like,
no.
There's like 5 guys, and they're all just like, oh yeah, one of the fighters is walking by. Like, dude, I mean, imagine if that was somebody, I don't know, who's fighting next to Sean O'Malley if he was coming through. People would be flocked to the sides, or anybody from that $299 card in the main card.
So now Nemkov's in a throne with a fake title after a great performance, no doubt. I had said 10 minutes ago that the pomp and circumstance here was approaching cheesy, but still kind of cool. Where do you weigh in on that?
They're trying. I like that they're trying. It just feels, dude, they don't have a fan base. That's the problem. PFL doesn't have a fan base. They don't have a core group of people that are like super into PFL in that way. And so there's just they don't have that same kind of bond with the audience. That's what they have to develop.
Bellator still had some of that.
Not much.
A little bit. Like I told you, the guy at Big Y, Luke, that guy at Big Y who would always talk to me about Bellator, the guy on the carriages outside. I mean, I think he had some questions probably in his personal life too, Luke, but he loved Bellator. Was
this a man who'd been hit in the head with a hammer previously?
I wouldn't, I can't speculate that, but he would see me in my Bellator sweatshirt and then be like, "That's the only MMA I watch. I go to the fights all the time at the casino," and he knew them all, Luke. That was his thing, The guy breathed Bellator.
Okay, so we're waiting for this Ray Cooper, Jason Jackson fight to get going. Welcome, everyone. Luke Thomas here, Brian Campbell. This is our PFL Bellator nubs along as we try to push through this card here on a Saturday afternoon, live from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for joining us. Thumbs up on the video, hit subscribe, all that fun stuff. Mikey, if you'd be so kind to help out one more time, these polls help us. Let's do a poll, BC. Got a question for everyone. All right. Who do you want to see Francis Ngannou fight if he has to fight either Ryan Bader or Renan Ferreira? Do you want to see Francis versus Bader or Francis versus Renan? BC, I'll ask you that question. What would you want? Forget anything else, just what you want to see the most.
Both have pros and cons from the standpoints of potential competitiveness to how much would it help it actually sell pay-per-views? But I think Renan Ferreira is the answer, especially if he goes out there and beats Bader tonight and looks good doing it. Obviously, that's only going to help it. But young, although probably not in his own prime yet, because he's still kind of putting it together, is a plus athlete, has legitimate size at 6'7", at least gives a certain level of unhinged danger and potential. Opposite Bader, who can be a technician as a boxer, can, obviously can wrestle, but he's always going to be a vulnerable. He's always going to be a vulnerable target for like next level punchers. You know what I'm saying? And that hasn't changed. That only gets worse over time. I think Bader's name would certainly carry the bout more, but from an entertainment standpoint, I almost feel like even with Francis's question, dude, Francis hasn't fought in MMA in a long time. We got to also mention that, right? Like that also has to be said. But but at the same time, you would imagine that's one-way traffic, right?
I think the answer for me is what I want to see the most. I don't have any interest in seeing Bader fight Francis. I have a mild amount of interest in seeing Renan Ferreira fight him, but enough to be curious, enough to think that at least, I mean, again, if he goes in there and freaking knocks out Anthony Joshua, then what are we talking about? But in the MMA sense, yeah, give me Renan Ferreira. I think that one's a little bit more. He's a big guy. He's got big power. He's scary. He's fun. He's unpredictable. He's limited, but he's got all those good things too. That's more interesting to me than like proven veteran who's probably going to wrestle, and you've already seen the upside. Like,
okay, but what if I give you an opportunity to one up that? What if they go back on their promise and press release and say, sorry, we screwed up. Vadim Nemkov is awesome. Look what he just did. Is that the best choice if you were given three choices?
No. You
don't think so? That's the best fight there, Luke. Vadim versus Ngannou.
That's the best. That might be the best. That might be the best fight. But like, I don't think Vadim Nemkov can beat Francis. Just being candid, I don't think really any of those guys should beat Francis. But the one that might be the most fun until they lose is probably Renan Ferreira. Or he also has big power. And listen, Francis is eventually going to suffer some kind of humiliating defeat too. That will happen. By the way, my Topuria knocks out Volk prediction looking pretty good. Didn't it?
Look, it was a week ago.
No. From the preview show we did the end of 2023.
Oh yes, when I predicted Merab would be the fighter of the year, Luke. We're definitely on pace.
You're on your way. Yeah. He looked awesome. By the way, dude, isn't he just fun as shit in the most insane way possible?
Every possible way,
best.
Dude. He almost normalized Zuck during that whole exchange, right? He almost made Zuck look less like John DuPont and more like a cool celebrity like Jared Leto or something. I know that's a stretch, but still, that is. Here comes Ray Cooper the third. Dude, this fight is good. This might be the fight of the night. Jason Jackson, Ray Cooper. This is the one. Okay, I know it's not the one you want with Magomed. I get it, but this fight still rules. Isn't it wild that we're not even talking about Amosov, that he lost that fight? It is wild. Look, 27-0 before that.
Fell off fast. That was a deeply unfortunate loss. All right, here comes Ray Cooper walking out. I mean, it looks nice. It does look nice on TV.
Short
Catch
notice.
weight of 182.
Would you say his body reflects the short notice, Luke? I'm not talking about shaming. I'm talking about being honest.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say, yeah. I doubt he's really hiding it, by the way. I mean, like...
No, here's what I love about this guy, separate from his ability to make great fights and that he's a great fighter, is that when he won I think he's won their championship tournament twice, but when he won it the last time, or maybe it's only once, he admitted the next 2 seasons that he was like living on that money so much, shamelessly, not necessarily in an Andy Ruiz way where he's at the, eating pizza every meal, but like he was basically like, I'm a king now with this. I'm not necessarily motivated to get in the shape you need to come back and win the tournament again. I mean, that's what happened to Marcos Maidana when he fought Floyd twice. And he just walked away for good. He was like, see you guys later.
Dude, Jackson's got a 79 to 70 inch reach advantage. Good Lord. Dude, Jackson has a 9-inch reach advantage. By the way, great striker. Can wrestle too, so you can do both. But Ray Cooper's up against it on this one, boy. I'll tell you this much. If Ray Cooper wins this would be huge. Because Jackson is coming off of the best win of his career by a million miles, as we indicated previously in the Amosov fight. Yeah. He's probably gonna get smoked.
I hope they put Amasov and Nemkov in the PFL tournaments for $1 million. I think that's the best use of both of those gentlemen. Do you have a comment on that, Luke?
I don't care about the tournament. They could kill it off completely. It doesn't do a thing for me.
Right, but they've got to decide where to plug these people in. And I just gave it to them. I gave them the answer. Okay, you didn't need a cage.
I don't want to see
that.
Jackson. I don't want to see Jackson in the tournament. I don't have an interest in that.
No, that's why I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm telling you how I also feel. Here comes the poorly lit face of the man introducing these two fighters. All right, they're introducing
Damn, the
Jackson.
ass-kicking machine is ripped still. I mean, he's in. This is championship fit right here. Damn.
The graphics package they're using is a lot better, so much better.
And if you notice, they're keeping that live odds thing on 24/7 in the top left corner for
I don't
fight.
love that necessarily, but it doesn't bother me as much.
It's not overly intrusive, but it does make its presence known.
Yeah.
Kind of like you, Luke. Well, not really, but yeah. Okay.
Kind of like you. You're a human skin tag.
Yeah. A fun guy.
There's 5 people in the audience.
Are you talking about our live stream right now? Or are you talking about
no. Not we're doing fine, but the here in Saudi Arabia, there's 5 donks in this bitch.
Just to update people on where we're at in the card, this is the final fight before the and main events, which of course will be Johnny Eblen, Impa Kasanganay, and then the heavyweight main event.
All right, we're going to count them in. Don't worry, they're introducing Ray Cooper now. He's got that shoulder pop ready to go. Again, they got the Google Glass on. Referee Brian Miner here. The MMA refs wear gloves because they're not cochino. All right, here we go. And they're off. I'll count you in as soon as the graphic comes up. Here we go. 455, 454, 453, 452, 451, 450.
So Ray Cooper's probably, due to the shape he's in, Luke, has to make this a fight. But that's also his style. So guns blazing time. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's see. Jason Jackson looks like he's in a different weight class than this guy. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. He looks like, I mean,
also,
he's old though too. He was like 35.
He's older.
Right?
He's also a bigger welterweight. He's like big for welterweight standards anyway.
Yeah.
And this is 182, I understand, but you know.
I'm fine if they keep Ray Cooper as like a let's put him in fun action fights against people he hasn't fought yet role. I'm all in on people at that level.
Decent left hook counter there. Didn't land cleanly, but nice little threatening punch.
9-inch reach advantage is wild for Jackson.
Yeah, Cooper's going to be leaping in with those hooks. So there are, it's going to be harder to land them, but if they do, it's going to be devastating.
Can Ray wrestle, Luke? He's always a boxer, but
I wouldn't say it's a strong suit. He's not terrible at it, but I would say Jackson's going to be better. Oof. Hard outside leg kicks.
Outside. You stay on the outside, Jackson's just going to chop you up with those leg kicks.
Sure is.
You notice a quiet uptick in Jamaican MMA lately, Luke, with guys like Jason Jackson and, Aljamain Sterling of his heritage.
I think Ode Osborne is Jamaican as well.
Yeah, it's good to see. Speaking of good to see, Luke, did you see Marley in the movie theaters, or are you staying away?
Which one?
The Bob Marley movie.
I only discovered it was out like recently. I haven't even thought about it. Hold on, Jason Jackson here stalking.
I mean, it's not going to get you fired up like Dune 2 is. I mean, I think you might go opening night. I think they've got you.
How much are you excited to go bang the Dune 2 popcorn holder? Have you seen that thing?
Yes, that thing is a fleshlight. Yes, Luke, that is
Mikey, I know, Mikey, if you could get a picture of that and then put it on the screen, I know it's asking a lot, but I would be forever grateful.
I think, or you can stay employed, Mikey, your choice, though.
No, it's a real thing. This is a real thing that they're handing out in movie theaters to promote Dune 2. It's a popcorn topper. And it's just of questionable design concept, is what I would say. Right? Is that a fair way to put it?
That's a fair way. Hey, Jackson took him down off the clinch there.
Yep. So Jackson's on top. You got 150 left in the first round. And he'll probably just work sort of slowly from here. And the rest of the round will just kind of be another fight.
Yeah, Ray Cooper's going to get beat up if he's stuck underneath here. Luke, what do you make of UFC fighters that are in the lawsuit that have also agreed that they will testify for the UFC? What do you make of that?
Listen, it's a little bit of Pascal's wager right there.
Yeah.
You know, just covering all your bases is maybe a better way to put it. Hey, heads I win, tails you lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's called hedging right there. Yeah. Your guy Eric McCracken's Ernie McCracken's Twitter account's been actually awesome lately. Look, that guy's a good follow.
He's a great follow, and yeah. I saw some managers going to bat for UFC. Boy, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what does.
I bet you those guys get paid in UFC money, Luke. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine if they were getting paid in crypto only. That'd be the most UFC thing ever, right?
Yeah. Do you remember? I think I hope Kevin Lee actually took his money out, but I remember. Don't you remember for a while he was going to get paid and put everything in Bitcoin? And I was I remember I got a bunch of backlash at the time, and then Bitcoin crashed not long after. And I'm like, I'm not saying don't trade Bitcoin. I'm just saying don't get paid in that. Get paid in cash and then put like an investment. He's saying Bitcoin is back up now. It is now. Yes. I'm not. Again, listen to me. Not saying don't invest in Bitcoin. Just saying. Don't put your entire paycheck in there. Invest wisely.
He's going to stop him here, Luke. He's going to stop him. Brother's just covering up.
It.
Oh, he beat it.
Elbows. He got some elbows in there, and there it is. He finishes him off. Jason Jackson wins.
No, Luke. He got saved by the bell.
Oh, I thought that was the whole thing.
Yeah, easy there, Goldie. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
Let me dial it back here. I know. I thought the referee was just kind of lazily stopping it.
So Jackson went nuts in the final 10 seconds trying to force that stoppage. And
so hard leg kick takes Cooper. Takes Cooper, basically starts hobbling him. We're watching the replay here. And then another one, I think, is going to take him off of his feet. Yeah, I hurt him real bad. That was the game changer.
What would you predict this does for pay-per-view buys in this era? Would you guess with the afternoon, probably like 200,000?
Great double. Picks him right up. How much is this one going to do?
Yeah, do you think it does 200?
200?
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it will do 200. That's it.
No, I was coding more like 200,000, Luke, but what do you think? Like 70,000? 70,000?
No, I'd be surprised if it did more than 20. I'd be surprised.
Wow.
It's going to they're going to take the Saudis don't care, but in terms of looking at the balance sheet, they're going to take a bath on this one. A bath. Oh, Cooper gets knocked down again, and he turtles up. They might stop this. Here comes Jackson. Yeah. Now they stopped it. 4:35 of round 2. Sorry.
Bellator's getting that ass, Luke. You know what I'm saying? They're getting in that ass right now. This is
the Bellator guys are doing well. If I'm not so Pico won, right? Of course, he was fighting another Bellator guy. AJ McKee won. Thiago Santos is a PFL guy, right?
Yes, he is. So
Romero won. Yeah, dude, Bellator's kicking PFL's ass right now.
Yeah, it's 4-0 on the main card right now. Also, Luke, on that undercard, Biagio Ali Walsh, the grandson of the greatest, won his pro debut by decision. Did you watch that at all?
No, I'm not that much of a glutton for punishment. No.
Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, nice leg kick. That does take him off of his feet, and he just kind of turtles up from there. Poor bastard was overmatched. You know, Ray Cooper's got all the heart in the world, but that was too much.
Did you see that Roberto Duran Jr. just signed with one of the bare knuckle? I think it was BYB or something. I forget. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, the son of Roberto Duran. Okay, so poll update. Remember, I had asked previously, BC, what do fans want to see? Who do they want to see Francis if it's a choice between those two? 60% said Renan Ferreira. That's my choice as well. So good choice, 60% of you. The other 40%, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Bader even wants it. Because I've interviewed him and asked him that back. You know, he's like, well, you know, I mean, rightfully so. Again, I know he's saying it now because he's a man, Luke. Okay, of course he's saying, yeah, I'll fight him, but I don't know, dude. I can't wait for Joshua Ngannou, Luke. I can't wait, man.
I know. I'm pretty pumped for that one, dude. March is going to be a big month for a lot of reasons, but more importantly, the Ngannou fight and then 299, sick fights. Yeah. Back-to-back days, by the way. March 8th, March 9th. It's going to be so great.
Dude, would you go as far as saying Ray Cooper just got his ass kicked?
Yeah, a bit. He got messed up, yeah. 8 strikes landed to 51 from Jason Jackson. 12 leg strikes, 35 ground strikes, 1 takedown. Yeah, that was BC. They call him the ass-kicking machine.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. He literally just kicked that man's ass. Look, would you give a nice shout out to our viewerdom, our people that want to inject us inside of them every other day or all day, nearly every day, like the wellness checks, reaching out to us, like people have, you know, shown their good side during this period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lots of people have been trying to stay in contact. We appreciate every one of you. Just don't worry, you know. We appreciate your thoughtfulness and your support. And happy for those of you who are joining us now for our Morning Kombat PFL Bellator Watchalong. Luke Thomas here. That's Brian Campbell over there. That's Brian Campbell, and we're Morning Kombat. 2 fuckos. Yep.
So Mike Tyson will put the unfortunately meaningless championship belt here on Jason Jackson, but Jason Jackson's still the Bellator welterweight champion. Will he fight Amasov again? I guess it depends on where they're both going to be fighting for this larger PFL Inc. But dude,
yeah,
what a run!
Dude, congratulations to Jason Jackson, who's having just the best time of his career these days, it seems like. And he waited long enough, BC, to your point about his age. He is great. Good for him. But I got to tell you, that belt just does nothing for me. It just does nothing for me.
It's all right. The design is fine. It doesn't look. It looks
like it looks like a tennis trophy that someone put into a leather belt. You know what I mean? You know how in tennis trophies they're like those silver plates you hold up, like Wimbledon or whatever. That's what it looks like. A tennis trophy that's just stuck inside of a leather belt.
Do you think Peter Murray and Don Davis care that PFL is getting their ass kicked by Bellator in this thing that they're trying to promote as, like, you know, there's a rivalry and there's competition? Do they care, Luke, that their brand is getting its ass handed it to them?
Since no one is watching, I doubt it. But my point being is, this is why they should have just integrated everything to the PFL brand. When Dan Henderson came over from Pride, they didn't do Pride versus UFC. When Anderson came over,
you're right,
they didn't do Pride versus UFC.
Because what they're showing you in this card, whether this is a pay-per-view or not, we all think it's not. I mean, obviously, but there's depth though of interesting fights. There's a decent amount of depth on this card. It shows you what regular pay-per-views could look like if they put their best against their best and combined everything. And again, we've debated the separate revenue streams and what that might do. But you know what? You might be right though. Long term, just combine them now and let's make the best possible fights. Let's do it.
I figured it out. You know what this fight atmosphere, like what it gives me right now, like what I'm getting from it. It feels like the most Saudi office party, like office Christmas party that I've ever seen. Because if you look at the people in the audience, they're like on their phones. They have collared shirts on, like they normally work in an office. They don't seem to know who anyone is. There's barely anyone there relative to like what it would be for a normal thing. It just looks like they're like, hey, we're going to put on this really expensive MMA event for our Christmas office party. And they're just going to look. Doesn't it look, these people look like they paid to go to a convention.
Yeah, they look like there's some people there on like a high school trip, like, you know, like,
yeah,
that's like a field trip or something. Yeah, it's weird, but I don't know. Like it's this broadcast is both good and bad. Like it should be a pay-per-view and there's meaningless belts, but it also kind of looks okay. But dude, they're making me
they
want
definitely
to
spent money.
Yeah, but doesn't this make you want them to put the rosters together? Like, because we're
Yes.
part of this analysis
Yes.
is like, you're right, but part of this analysis is like, well, like they might move people around year to year, but like, what is that going to do for consistency? Just open it up. Open it up.
I
We don't
don't
even
mind.
need a
Here's my
regular
point.
season.
I don't mind them. I want to be clear. I don't mind them doing the PFL versus Bellator thing as a one-off, but only under the condition that after that everything becomes PFL. Like you
No, they want
retire
to do
the
it once
brand.
a year. They want to do it once a year to kick off the year.
This is what I don't approve of. I don't mind doing it as like a sunsetting event. I've said this before. This conflict thing is a cool promotional angle for this one. I kind of like it. But I think that basically sooner rather than later, and it should be after today, sunset the Bellator brand. The brand is dead. It doesn't have a fan base. It doesn't have any pulling or cachet mechanism. Sunset it. I wish they would have done it with this. But
Well, it has a footprint in Europe, apparently, Luke. Ireland.
Dude, they could go to PFL with the same fighters. You put Gallagher on there. You put Charlie Hospital Ward or whoever was still fighting that they have under contract that's Irish. You could bring out Peter Queally again. You don't think the Irish are going to show up? Like, you think the Irish are like just attached to the Bellator brand?
No,
like that's what they care about the most? Come on, be serious. They're attached to the fighters. Ship them
There's
under a new banner.
Coker heads out there, Luke. You know what I mean? A few big Coker fans, or at least Coke. There's Jason Jackson just laying around in this throne, which is pretty great to see. What
Mikey says, kill both brands and start a new company. yeah, I'd be okay with that one too.
No, but like to the theme here, you've never been more right about that point when I watch this pay-per-view, because now I'm like, okay, there are a lot of other matchups within this large roster that we haven't seen that would be good. Now I want to see them, but now I'm like, wait, what if one is in the PFL tournament? Or, you know, like they're already going to have a problem. If you're making the winner of the heavyweight tournament fight Ngannou on a pay-per-view, like what are you going to pluck him out of the regular season? You know what I mean? Like it's already kind of broken the way they've set it up. So I don't care if they kept the regular season thing under one roster, but that's probably a bad idea due to the wear and tear. Yeah, just have one promotion. That's it.
BC, what does MENA stand for? MENA.
Oh, PFL MENA. I don't know what the actual letter breakdown is, but it has something to do with the Middle East, because that's the region.
Middle East, North Africa.
That is where our colleague Hakeem Dermish is from, Luke.
That's right.
Did you know he's the first North African Sports Center anchor in history?
I do now.
And now he's the face of CBS Sports HQ.
Okay, they're making some announcement in the cage with a bunch of donks all covering their jock.
I think this has to do with PFL MENA.
Yes, these are the Middle Eastern fighters that they're hiring, signing through their thing. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Oh, and there's Johnny.
Right, here comes the one I care about the most. This is the one I care about the most. I know that there's supposed to be the most stakes with Renan Ferreira and Ryan Bader, but your boy doesn't care about that one that much. Don't really give that much of a shit. What I do care about is Eblen. Eblen could be, BC. Very special, very unique among middleweights. I want to see what he's got in this one.
So you would love, true or false, if he could be injected into the UFC's top 10 right now to find out.
100. I think he would be. Again, I don't know if he becomes champion. I don't know. There's a lot of tough talent over there, but he gives several of them problems. Yeah, I think.
I mean, his problem is that there's no middleweight division in PFL, so he's going to have to fight on. It's like, what value should fans put on the Bellator title when it's only half of their roster? You know what I mean? Like it is weird. You're right. It's weird. I can't support it anymore.
When we still were doing episodes, I said they should sunset that brand. I don't get it. And by the way, we don't even know, if depending on where you live, but if you live in the United States, we don't even know where those fights are going to air. We don't even know that. So
are you talking about PFL MENA again?
No. The Bellator shows.
Oh, they better air it.
No. They said they were going to announce their broadcast later. That show is in March. We still don't know who the broadcaster is. I just want to point that out for United States customers. It's different if you live in Europe, but for here, yeah. And I think in Canada, actually, I don't know if they air on Sportsnet. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Luke, does Scott Coker have any affiliation moving forward, or any like period?
I
where
read
he
an
can't-
interview today. I read an interview today with Don Davis. Don Davis did an interview with Calf Kick MMA, and he had said in the interview that they invited Scott to have a role in the company and that he wanted a clean break from everything and go a different direction. Who knows what that means? Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
That answered it. I mean, that directly answered it right there.
Dude, I wanted to say something too. You know what's kind of funny is every time I tweet about the PFL, there's always someone who's like, hey, how come you guys don't, talk about the PFL having fucked up contracts or some other kind of thing that the PFL also does a bad job of, or because all MMA promotions do like bad shit. And it's like first of all, like half of the actual particular accusations aren't true. Like one guy came at me being like, how come no one's talking about the PFL giving everyone a 1 pound allowance for championship fights? Well, newsflash, they're giving a belt out, but all of these fights are 3-round non-championship fights. So that's why there's the 1 pound allowance, but neither here nor there. And I'm always like, they're always like, you guys don't really, do anything. I'm like, guys, you have to understand something. If you actually go to a PFL or like a Bellator show, you'll go to Media Row and you'll see media outlets like MMAassbarf.com.
Yeah.
And they get credentialed, because Bellator and PFL and those, shows of that size are desperate for any publicity that they can get at any point from any outlet. I don't think the issue is that we're not giving him enough of the the UFC a fair shake here. I don't really think that's the issue. BC, have you ever read MMAassbarf.com?
No, I tend to stay off of those type of sites.
Look at the site here of Riyadh.
There was like an amusement park next door. They just had a camera flying through. I mean, it does look like they've made it an attraction for not only people that live there. I mean, would you call that area like a world? Like, is the entire world traveling to that area on the regular, Luke?
So my wife has colleagues that do business in MENA, and my understanding is that I think some of that is changing, that you are getting events there. But obviously there, a lot of restrictions and difficulties are in play when you do a show there, or a convention, some kind of big event. Dubai is a big destination, as you can well imagine. There is a significant amount of business in the Middle East that goes to Dubai. But a lot of these Middle Eastern cities are vying. Some of the new money ones are vying. Like Beirut is not in the play for it, but UAE, Qatar, and Saudi are all places that are now trying to really ramp up European involvement in event planning, and obviously North American as well. So yeah.
Sure. Speaking of Qatar, Luke, a week from yesterday is going to be that one championship rematch with Malakin against RDR, this time for De Ridder's middleweight championship. I'm into that fight big time. Do you know that's in Qatar next Friday morning?
Yeah. I mean, that was an ass kicking last time. It's like, okay, it's a different weight this time. It's a better weight for RDR, but it's like Malakin's a small heavyweight. Like, I don't know. BC, you want to read that question out loud?
Yeah, Danny D's like, you ever go to Lake Compounce or Six Flags, New England? You better believe it. I went to both a million times. And when I worked at ESPN, which is across the street from Lake Compounce, Mikey knows this because he was there too, because his dad worked there. They would have it like a ESPN family day where they rent out Lake Compounce and you can, eat everything, play all the games, and go on every ride and swim and all that. I mean, and drink all the free beer you want. It was epic. So yeah, I frequented those places.
How free was the dysentery that you got from going to places like that?
Oh yeah, that was normal. That's what we traded. But Lake Compounce for a hot second was a concert, legit draw. Luke, when the Milli Vanilli voiceover thing happened, that was there in Connecticut, there at Lake Compounce. So or normally you could see like Winger or somebody there back in the day. Anyway, that's enough of that talk. Luke, I interviewed RDR. I think it's going out on the Morning Combat channel anytime. And he hasn't fought an MMA fight since that knockout loss. And he's like all about revenge. Like this personal journey he's went on to come back from that is interesting. this guy's an absolute hammer that he's facing, Luke. But he says he's only been training, basically striking to get ready for this. He took Malikin lightly. Luke, he thought he was going to take Malikin down and submit him instantly. You know that, right?
I did not know that. By the way, I'll say the pacing for this isn't too terrible for the show.
I mean, keeping your attention is a difficult task. But yeah,
you're asking me about RDR and it's only Malikin. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to change much. All right.
As
for the show that we're actually,
I thought you were a bigger MMA fan than that. I thought you had a soul. You know what I mean, or a hardcore.
Okay. As for the show that we're watching, they're doing the introductions right now. Impa Kasanganay versus Johnny Eblin. Again, one more time. Kasanganay won the 205 tournament, although I think he's obviously going to be better suited for 185. Eblin is the guy in Bellator. BC, what was it, 4-0? Someone says, by the way, from Bristol, was that the Millie shoe? Won tickets on radio in 6th grade? What the fuck?
I think he was doing the Millie Vanilli. I think he's talking about that Millie Vanilli concert, but I don't know. Whatever. He's from Bristol.
Okay.
Luke. That means he's hard like Aaron Hernandez. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when it was a big scandal that Millie Vanilli had taped all their shit?
Yeah, that was. And then CNC Music Factory had their own scandal too, because the lady in the video wasn't the same lady that sang that. You know, they had different body types, to say the least. Luke,
that's right. They were fat shaming.
Yeah.
Ryan Couture versus Calvin Cater in Qatar. How would DC do with that tongue twister? Yeah.
I thought Ryan Couture was watchable for a while, Luke. He had some fun fights, right? I mean, he was like a weird submission drop, go to guard all the time. But what did you make?
Yeah, he didn't have the physicality his dad. Yeah, he didn't have the physicality his dad did. But not many people do. So,
but he was both tough and smart, Luke. He got splattered a few times though too, and that happens.
All right, well, I'm happy to be here at this tech conference in Saudi Arabia where they just happen to be having a fist fight in the middle. Here comes Brian Miner with a Google Glass on.
Would you say he looks like David Tua?
Fist of Rage, yes.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm going to count you in. As soon as the graphic goes up and they start it, and here we go. It is 4:55.
So what's the weight of this fight?
3, 2, 1, 0. It's a 185 fight.
Okay.
It's a 185. All right, I want to see what Johnny Eblin's got here.
Looks good at this weight, Luke. I know he's small for 205, but dang.
Yeah, he's small for 205. I don't think it's the right. He was able to get the job done there, but it's really not his best place. All right, here goes. Single, head outside single, high crotch, turns him over. He's going to grab both legs. He's going to thread them both here. It looks like. Let's see. Drops his weight down on it. He's going to go for the hip, and then he's going to try and cut to the corner. Here we go. Okay, so Johnny Eblin has him on a knee. He's going to get turned here. He's got the front leg forward, and he might go. Yeah, that's right. He's going to attack the tripod. Boom.
Luke, how close do you think Chael was to DC in terms of amateur wrestling reputation? Was it night and day, or was he close?
Reasonably close. I think Chael was an All-American. I think DC was as well, or he was a national qualifier. But on the freestyle side, no. DC was much, much better. There was a big difference there.
Sure. A couple-time Olympian there, that guy.
Yeah. I think in college it was probably reasonably commensurate, but definitely not in freestyle. Johnny Eblin doing a good job of at least keeping Kasanganay pinned on the fence, but not been able to get him down successfully just yet.
Who is Eblin's corner? Is it Team Couture?
It should be ATT. Mike Brown. That's who it typically is. How jealous were you when you found out he was banging Rebecca J?
I don't even know who Rebecca J is, Luke. I do live in a bubble.
You don't know who that is. Yeah, like me.
No, I'm serious. I'm not fooling with you. I still don't know who that is, Luke.
Did you see her?
I saw the picture of when it was next to the headline. Yes, I didn't expand or do any more research beyond that.
Not your kind of woman.
Probably not. People do have types, Luke. We've been up and down this road before.
Ooh, bit of a nice shot there. from Eblin. He got a good jab there for Kasanganay. Kasanganay putting some decent jabs together.
You know, you often get upset that my type typically ends up waitressing, Luke.
More lunch lady, I think is a better way to put that.
That's yeah. I mean, it's it pays it's a career that does pay the bills though.
He keeps moving into Kasanganay's right. That's a little weird.
That looping punch attempt from Eblin did not look good, Luke.
No, this is not a strong start. It's his first 3-round fight in a while too. He's had a bunch of 5s.
A lot of stance switching from Eblin.
Good leg kick. He's throwing that right and then not pivoting out or rolling through, and he's coming up and he's getting hit for it.
Do you think Kasanganay could be top 15 UFC material
at this point? Maybe.
Yeah, after his recent turnaround.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Oof. Switch stance blitz. I'll say this is a great showing from Kasanganay. Oh! Nearly catches him with the knee.
Hey, how badass was Jose Aldo for not getting taken down by Marab, Luke? It was pretty badass in hindsight.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. At elevation, no less. I'm honestly convinced that fucker could fight underwater and he'd be fine.
No problem.
You know what I mean? Oh, great uppercut from Kasanganay. Tell you what, Eblin's getting pieced up a little bit here.
He definitely is. Oh, big right hand from Eblin.
That's nice. Moving him into his right.
Ooh,
good first round.
Oh, some jumping ish down the stretch there from Impa.
How many times did you see Eblin leaning forward over his front foot, leaning? Dude, you're gonna get drilled doing that, man. Is Mike Brown there? Yeah, there he is, Mike Brown. And I think that's Thiago Alves, too. Yeah, that's a great corner.
Yeah, I forgot he's ATT. These are pay-per-view super fights.
He didn't get, I mean, it's a good read. He didn't get close with it, but he's threatening him.
Look, this kid on the screen that just, the comment that they want Trace Margaritas back for old Luquito. They want the old Luke, okay? The sloppy drunk.
That was a painful day in my life. You're wishing misery on me, fucking haters. Dude, look at this fucking place. And these guys had the balls to tweet that, like, hey, whatever the name of this facility is, like the Riyadh Coliseum. I'm just making up a name, whatever it is. It's like it's going to be sold out tonight. Here we go. Round 2. Let me count everyone in, BC, real quickly. Hold on. They're slinging 455, 54, 53, 52,
oh, down goes Eblin.
51. Oh, Eblin got put. Oh, he's wrestling to a leg.
Yo, Eblin got pieced up there. Impa came out with high volume, high intensity.
Dude, this is not the fight Eblin expected to be in. I can tell you that.
Pieced up.
Oh, another uppercut. Dude, this is might have a choke here. He's hand fighting.
Oh,
Eblin needs to. Oh, Eblin is getting crushed.
Yo, Eblin's got a chin on him right now, but he's
in trouble.
Yeah,
he is in trouble. This is better. At least making it a wrestling contest. That's better.
There's 4 minutes to go in this round, though, and they just
my god,
they just fought a whole fight.
This is going to be terrible. I was wondering about the stock. Not looking great so far. Not looking great.
All right, there's no choke there. This is just. I mean, Eblin looks like he's ready to go.
He's stalling out under here on purpose. Like, dude, if your hips are higher than your head, you can't really wrestle. You have to change angle and elevation or something to get around that. Here he is. He's coming up.
Dude,
and he's going to
even
go.
though Eblin's strong game is not as striking, this is incredible from Impa. I mean, not just the striking, but the
They're
grappling.
exchanging. They're back on the feet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Eblin gets an underhook and they clinch again. Whoa.
Dude, Kasangane got good, man. I mean, he's really turned this around.
Yeah, dude, another left hook lands. Eblin looks a little bit better, still kind of slow, and dude, bending over.
Notice though, Kasangane is also fatigued.
And he's got his underhook. He's got an underhook kind of as a down block, but it's also kind of trapped at the same time. Let's see what he does with it. Let's see if he steps behind. Look at him just stalling. He's just pressing into him to get a breather.
Yeah, this looks like BJ Penn versus Kenny Florian, basically.
He tries to pick him up off the high crotch. And now they're back to a 50-50. Eblin does look better recovered. 239, 238, 237, 36 left in the round. Damn. Hey, that's pretty good resilience.
Yeah, I'm now 2 seconds ahead of you on your stream. Something happened?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe you got that McDonald's Wi-Fi down there in the nation.
I got that McDonald's Wi-Fi. Got that Chick-fil-A Wi-Fi. Dude, Tukey loves the Chick-fil-A playground. All right, here we go. Okay.
I was hoping you were going to say the sauce.
No, she hates the sauces, and it drives me nuts.
Oh, come on, Tukes.
I know. She won't eat pizza. How about what kid doesn't eat pizza?
All right, that's borderline communism right there.
I'm trying. All right, Eblin has got a tight waist around him, and he's trying to return him. Matt returns him. That's nice. Hey, Eblin having a much better round all of a sudden.
Dude, Impa is a little gassy right now. I mean, he's
a little gassy, yes. Like me at night in bed. A little gassy.
Walking through first class.
He's got the one hook. He doesn't necessarily need both, depending on how he uses it. He's got the high hook. He's got the choking arm to the bottom. So Impa Kasangana is trying to come up and over to the right shoulder of what you call it. And there he is, getting his shoulder out. So now it's double unders from the back. It's not as dangerous.
Look,
I will still say,
we got really used to flying first class with Showtime. That was awesome. I mean, it was just
that was a great time in my life that has now come to a dramatic close. I still have all my train points though. I've got a motherfuck ton of train points.
All right, there you go. Eblin raining down shots now in top position.
Eblin with a hard elbow over the top. Dude, I got to tell you, BC, Eblin kind of rallying there a little bit.
I got to hear you. Yeah, I'm with you. This is American muscle turning this around, coming from the Midwest, this guy. I mean, he's fighting on instinct up at some point here, but...
Yeah. He's got a bit of a half Nelson on him here. Let's see what he can do with it. Still 22 seconds left. Impa Kasangana still looks with it, but he definitely looks drained, BC.
Yeah, I feel like he thought he had a window there, rightfully so, to finish.
Captures the far wrist, returns him. So, okay, one thing that Eblin does have good, you can see he's real consistent with the wrist rides. He's very, very good about mat returns and about returning a guy's shoulder to the mat by capturing the wrist and then driving them in. He's very, very consistently good about that. So he has to get the fight there first, but once that process is in motion, BC, he can be a bit of a handful. Dude, what a great... Dude, that was a great... That's the best round of any of the fights I've seen so far, right?
Yeah, this is a good-ass fight. And this... Look, the action on this card has not been awful. This bit, like, it's kind of delivering. All right? Keep with me. Keep up with me on that.
A lesser ref would have stopped that. A lesser ref would have stopped that.
Dude, that
uppercut.
Ooh, that was nasty. But just at the moment, Impa looked like he was going to finish. He didn't have it anymore. He didn't have the gas tank.
Okay, BC, call it. Who's going to win the third round?
Eblin will, and it's going to be interesting on the scorecards here. Especially if Eblin can get an early takedown and control that clock for a while. That's going to be hard.
Impa definitely won the second round, right? You agree?
Yes, yeah. but dude, basically, if Eblin gets an early takedown, he might go the distance with it. He might win it on that if Impa's really gassed.
And look, I got to tell you, Eblin looks like he's in great shape, and Impa doesn't look like he's in bad shape. But body language is key. Let's see what they got here. Okay, 450, 450, 49, 48, 47. Oof.
All right, Impa kind of seems like he's got some kickback. Good. He's moving a lot of footwork.
Yeah, he doesn't look too slow, but he hasn't thrown a whole lot yet. Looks to me like Eblin's trying to bait something out so he can get underneath it.
Eblin needs a takedown.
Good right hand from Kasanganay. He's still moving. He's moving okay. He's moving okay. Oh, that left hook when he pulls back out. Do you notice he just pulls back out straight and he gets hit with the left hook every time?
Look at those live odds. They've got Eblin at -165.
That was a nice
He's
right
got to
hand.
step
Looks
that
like it landed.
striking up, Luke. If you want to be world class, you do.
Yeah,
You
I
do
agree.
have to raise that.
This has not been a strong showcase.
But he's showing us will. He's showing us gas tank.
Okay, he's got center of the cage. Kasanganay he's moving okay. Man, Eblin's just got like a 1 or a 1-1-2 or a 1-2.
Input's got to be careful. He's got to be more active here. Because it is
Here
Eblin
comes
walking
Eblin,
around.
pushing him around a little bit. Boy, Kasanganay, a real fat fuck, huh? He's cut up from the butt up.
Yeah. He's holding it. I mean, he looks like he might gas at any second, but he just landed a nice combination to the body of Eblin.
Eblin's right eye is a bit of a mess. All right, a little bit under 3 minutes left. Eblin, why is Eblin not taking this to the ground, man?
I got the
Does
same
he want to
question.
rock
He
him
might
and take
not
him to
have
the
the
ground?
gas.
Ooh, Eblin's pushing him back. The right's starting to land a little bit. Kasanganay moving into the right hand, into the power of Eblin, off of his jab. It's common. Oh! Here comes Eblin, storming through with some big punches.
This is a good fight.
This is a great fight. This is a good, very good fight.
Two minutes to go. Oh, nice counter right from Impa. Eblin just shake. Oh, he literally shook it off.
His eye is a mess. Oh!
Big John McCarthy on the broadcast.
Oh, you hear him? What's he saying?
BJM, they got him on as a rules expert.
Oh, there he is.
He's basically talking about the scoring, saying it's anyone's fight. Ooh, there's the takedown.
Great double. Turns the corner, and there's 134 left in the round. Let's see what he can do. He's gonna Turk the leg.
Watch out for the
here comes the wrist capture and all the riding. Let's see. So here's the thing: if he just does the rest of the round this way, he'll win the round, right? Because it was pretty even enough on the feet, and then this will seal it if he can hold it. Although
that's why he should have shot in the first minute. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't quite get that, but although he's not doing a whole lot with it. All right, let's see if he's going to turn and then capture the wrist. No, he lets him up. That's interesting. Now, I see. So he can take the back a little bit, get a little more space. Okay. The whole point here is if you're Impa Kasanganay, you don't want Eblin between you and the fence, and now he is. That is bad. Yeah, real bad. Okay, now this position is won. He's won it. Body
you
triangle.
Think Don Davis is listening to our live stream right now?
No, he looks like he was playing Pokemon Go or some shit with that fucking thing. He's trying to go for rear naked choke. It's not very close. So, BC,
this is going to be enough. This is going to be enough. He's going to win this fight, Eblin.
Did he win the first round? I don't think he did. That's the issue to me. I will say this: if this was a 5-round fight, who wins?
Eblin, he
right?
has more gas.
Yeah,
well,
but a 3-round fight, I think Kasanganay is going to win, unless it obviously does something here in the next 10 seconds. Damn, great fight.
Good
great
finish.
Fight. I'm loving that. That was fun.
This felt old school. I mean, they went to the
Yeah.
they went to the deep end of the pool collectively there. That was great.
All right. Well done, gentlemen.
All right, so
Good fight.
yeah, I think you're right. That first round from Eblin did not really give us enough. So it's got to be. Can that be a 2-1 for Kasangana, even though he was the guy on bottom down that stretch, kind of like the end of Makhachev and Volk 1?
It's going to be a function of the first round. That's it. Whoever won the first, and I think it was Kasangana.
Yeah, this tested him to the limit.
BC, you were talking about Nemkov first team all body. No, Kasangana first team all body.
Yeah, he's in that race. This is if he had he almost gassed out. So he's kind of lucky he hung on in that way. But dude, he looked close to the finish. It looked like he had Eblin hurt, exhausted, and that it was only a matter of moments. That's an incredible will on Eblin to work his way back in. You got to give him that. That was impressive. It's not going to be enough though. It's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough. That was so he did. Yeah, you know what? A wake up call for him. 32. He's still got some stuff to work on.
Yeah,
Those
I was
elbows,
thinking right
by the
when
way,
it ended
from Kasangana were nice.
That he had done enough in that opening round, but I also have CTE probably. I don't really think I do, but it's just yeah.
My Tuki's at a kid's party. Yeah, dude, she won't fucking eat pizza.
I don't know how. I would tell you not to blame yourself, but I'm definitely silently blaming you because you've got
dude, she likes grilled cheese sandwiches. What kid doesn't?
Right.
She likes pan con queso, mac and cheese,
queso and mac and cheese. Yeah, those are.
And I try to explain to her, I'm like, it's bread, it's cheese, it's all the things you like, and she's like, I don't like the sauce, and I'm like, that fucking sauce is delicious. What the fuck
the
is
sauce
wrong
is
with
the
you?
boss, Tukes. You know what I mean? Maybe you just create your own sensory deprivation chamber, like the place that Anthony Joshua went. Like, look how good he looked after that. Maybe you do that in your house with Tukes, and she doesn't.
I meant to tell you, BC.
She's gonna love pizza.
So Tuki came home one day and kept talking about space robots. I was like, who the fuck are the space robots? Like, what the fuck is she talking about? And then I had, I had Paramount Plus open. And she saw that. She goes, the space robots. She's talking about the Transformers. Someone at her school had told her about the Transformers. So, I tried to watch the 1980, like whatever it was, 86 movie, the cartoon Transformers movie. I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. I'm about to have some nostalgia. It's the worst movie ever made. It's the worst movie ever fucking made. Ever.
True.
It's unwatchable shit.
So that's the problem. There's a lot of things like that from the 80s in particular, not the 70s. All the movies in the 70s aged like beautifully. The 80s, the music, the movies. I mean, it's not an all-encompassing statement, right? The 80s did have like ultimate party movies and breakthrough, like Back to the Future type level, all for everyone type of,
Oh, Dan and Chael think Eblin won, so that'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see.
First for Eblin. Ooh, one for Impa. Johnny Eblin gets it done,
Wow.
Luke. Split decision.
Wow. I mean, I wasn't watching the first round closely, so, my judging on this one is obviously going to be suspect. I guess he got it done. Well, he got tuned the fuck up in that second round, although it was a nice rally at the end. So what do you think, BC? What kind of grade would you give him? The rally, A+, right? I mean, that was a tough spot to come back out of. The effort down the stretch, A+. But getting touched up the way he did, not great. Not great.
Just getting touched up. His striking looked awful in the opening round. It just did, straight up. I'm trying to figure out how he was able to get 2 of the 3 rounds, though. What were we missing? He would get
there? round 1 and round 2, or round 1 and round 3, right?
Yeah, I mean,
how the fuck do you give him the second round?
You can't. So it's an interesting. I mean, 2 of the 3 judges had it, a couple of the announcers too. So we also are. I mean, we're heavily distracted by my wandering bullshit. But that was a fun ass fight, and for Eblin, I mean, there is a silver lining, a big one, dude. He rallied back like an absolute champion right there. That is like
another Bellator win. Another Bellator win.
They are undefeated in this head-to-head. This is wild.
Yeah.
Now, Luke, we have an opportunity here to reward our super fans who have been without us and without, by extension, the ish, BC's feces, the HYSTS. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. What do you got for us?
So I put together a little grab bag, you know, like when you take Tooks to the kids' party, but on the way home, she gets that like goodie bag. You know what I mean? Like, this is a goodie bag of feces, Luke. Okay. We call this, have you seen my ish? Yeah. All right. I guess we don't have the intro though. Mikey, we good to do this or what here? All right. Mikey Mormile, CBS Sports, always. No intro. All right. Let's start it off here, Luke. And by the way, I wanted to start it off to honor you. Happy anniversary to you and your wife. I hope you don't mind that we got this from her Facebook page. Here's the photos just to look back at how much you've grown, Luke. But you know, it's just
okay. Just a heads up, everyone. That's not me, nor my wife. That's hilarious, though.
All right, Luke. Let's keep the fun going. All right. I think this is fast food oriented. What do we got going on here? Oh, look at this guy. This guy's great. Look, would you eat that bun off the ground like that?
First of all, look at how inert this fat man is.
Oh, but the commitment.
And look at the food. Look at the food. Look at the food. Oh,
it's teetering right now.
Come on, fat man. You got it.
You got
it, bro. Yeah, you ain't got shit, bitch.
I forgot how fun this is. Look, crouch shots are always the best. All right, let's go to this Muay Thai contest. Oh, God. Yeah.
That's what you get for making kids spar or fight. Yeah. That's what you get. You get punched in the fuck you. It's what you get. You deserve it.
Look, he tried to restart the match and he was still feeling it. Let's go out to this baseball field. I hope the umps are wearing cups too, right? Look at this. Look at his shot right here. That was from like 4 or 5 feet away right there, right in the Pilsner. Wow.
Dude, look at this guy. This guy's just like, yo, fuck you, ref or umpire.
All right, we'll stay on the baseball field here. I'm telling you, these umps, they got to watch out. Maybe they should wear the chest protector out in the infield too, you know?
Oh, that old bastard. That old bastard.
Yeah.
You know he's got a saggy one, too. That one is like the piece of pie being separated, the slice being separated from the pie.
That is a short hop. What would they call that, Luke? There's probably some weird baseball mid-American phrase for that, like Midwestern, like, you know.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Baseball's got a lot of those weird, like can of corn. You know what I'm saying? That kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
You're not into that? You're not into baseball, American culture? All right. Let's keep it going here. You ever see a sword swallower? Look, when it comes to like
I dated a couple.
Wow. When it comes to carnival tricks and weirdness, yeah. Hello, my baby. Hello, my we'll be here all night. I do think sword swallowing is interesting because I don't know how they do it, but you gotta protect home base at the same time, Luke. You know what I mean?
That seems like not great to do.
I mean, so does the sword get smaller as it goes down, or does this guy just have like a long open, you know, gap?
That kid was like, yo, fuck your genitals.
All right, let's go to virtual reality. Zuck's big on this, Luke, but we're going to see fatalities if people don't, you know, make sure they've got it done safely here, right? You know, it feels so real, fuck? Right? Oh, yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Test out this crash exhibit. You actually do just completely fucking fall apart. Bah.
Luke,
dude, did you see, hold on. Did you see the TMZ video of the dude in the Amazon delivery truck get like completely carved in half by an oncoming Amtrak train?
Yes, that was real scary. But then he was just like watching it, like, damn, you know, like.
And I know he was shaking his head, like, can't believe this happened again. God damn.
All right, Luke. Let's go over to. This man has a message to all who love BBLs like yourself. So here's a message to you, Luke. All right.
Got a big old booty, and everybody says, she's a fine booty. The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy. Put there by God, that's the garbage can. So how you get so messed up with this white boy? You think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. That's like going to Kmart. You see a big old garbage can, that's the filth. And now we can convince her she walks switching that big old booty and all that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there.
I mean, that's pretty well said. I see no lies there, Luke.
This gentleman is mentally ill. I don't know what to tell you.
All
He
right.
doesn't know what he's looking at.
Our biggest spills and thrills of the week, Luke, we're going to go to the CBS Sports HQ, our colleagues here, their coverage of the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. This is Will Brinson, who agreed to get slimed. Check this out.
Let's do it, Brady. Get it over with. All right. Guys,
It's slime time!
Hey, go! Yes! Oh! Open your mouth. Stick your tongue out. And Brandy! Oh, my God! He looks like he'd be in Green Man group.
Will, how are you feeling?
This is so good. Oh, my God. So foul.
Is your 11-year-old kid gonna think you're cool?
No! Oh, no! Down goes Brinson! Down! What? You can't move! I can't move on my side! This is ridiculous! What? This is what happens when you don't get to 500 for a season. You
And Luke,
That's like
that'll wrap
me and
up.
my daughter's vomit and shit when she has the flu.
All right, wholesome content there. So shout out to everybody there, including Amanda Guerra, who's on this broadcast. But Luke, Ryan Bader has entered the cage, so we must put this filth aside for now. It's time for your main event. Bader, the defending Bellator heavyweight champion, and Renan Ferreira of Brazil, 6'7", the PFL champion. And there's Francis Ngannou.
I have to say, great pacing on the show,
Not bad,
right?
Not bad. So the winner of this fight takes on Ngannou. That's the agreement. We don't know when. It's obviously dependent upon, does Francis win against Anthony Joshua in boxing? What, next week, 2 weeks? Pretty soon. And does
Is that
he
how
look
long it
great?
is? 2 weeks?
What is it? Isn't
Jesus,
it
you're
March?
right.
Or
March
no, what
8th.
is it?
Yeah, you're right.
March 8th,
Golly,
yeah.
I can't believe that.
And that's also
All right, here he
UFC
is.
299 weekend. So get fired up. Get fired up.
It's this tall drink of water, Renan Ferreira.
Can he stop the takedown, Luke? That'll be a big key here. If he can keep it a striking battle, he can knock Bader out. It could happen.
I don't think he. Have you seen Renan Ferreira's takedown defense? I mean, again, here's the
No.
thing. Like, here's the problem. Like, even Ryan Bader in his prime would sometimes, like, it felt like the bottom would collapse out from under him relatively quickly if like one of his attacks got stalled. But in terms of his overall wrestling ability, it's vastly better than Renan Ferreira. So it's not to say that Ferreira can't win. That's not really my point, right? Because he's got a big hammer, but he probably shouldn't, is the way I would put it.
Right. That's
Probably
why I
shouldn't.
mentioned the idea of if he can't stop the takedown. If he can stop the takedown, I think he can outstrike Bader. I think Bader is always going to be suspect to that big.
I don't think it's a function of can he stop the takedown. He can't. The question is, can he get a shot off before the takedown is complete?
Yes.
Andy Shepard, who's out of focus in this camera angle.
Kerry Hatley is going to be the third man inside that very intelligent cage.
Have you tried the Apple, whatever the fuck they're called, Vision Pro? No.
No, I'm trying not to leap into stuff like that because that's full entrance of the Matrix, Luke. That's giving, that's the beginning of the end, right? I mean, we're already there. We're already in the beginning of the end, probably. When and then eventually we'll have to go to war with these robots that we so willingly said Elon and these other weirdos just make it for us, right? Program them to be smarter than us. Please make our life easier. Luke, they're going to kill us all.
I think this tattoo on Bader's chest is relatively new.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
No, it looks busy though. Looks very busy.
It does. Again, here's the tech convention that the people have showed up to. Very nice of them. Look at this.
You guys
big
want to
stand,
watch this
motherfucker.
or American Gladiators? Yeah, Gladiators. Yeah.
Who's getting the bone saw? Huh? Who's getting the bone saw?
Speaking of bone saw victims, Luke, I don't see what press. What of our brethren combat sports press? Like, is the schmo there? Who went out for that? Oscar.
Whoever
Willis?
got paid. Whoever got paid to go is the answer. Whoever got paid to go.
Okay.
What, you think people organically went to a PFL show in Saudi Arabia on their own dime? Please.
I mean, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, let's be serious about that. Well, this is the main event, and there's more people in my office than there is this fucking facility.
Okay,
So,
I mean, we can also enjoy the
What the
process of
fuck?
watching this.
all right,
Yeah.
here we go. We're about to get this started. I'll count us in. All right, here we go. 34 year age of Renan Ferreira, 40 for Ryan Bader, 6'8" versus 6'2". BC, 85 to 74 inch reach and 11-inch reach advantage.
Wow.
Fucking insane.
All right. If Bader does not get a takedown in the first 3
Hold on,
minutes, he might get
55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. There you go.
He is a threat to be KO'd here, Bader, early. Let's see how close he's going to get to try to shoot.
Oh,
it's
there we
right
go.
Oh, Bader's in trouble. Fajita all over him. Kerry Hatley just falling.
Kerry
into
Hatley
him.
stopping it. There's your PFL victory.
That is it. That's
There it
central
is.
casting. Luke, that's the script. I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm saying if you're PFL, that's what you want right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That
this
doesn't
is what you
suck.
want. Scary, big ass Brazilian. He's got neither of the guy is going to do anything for you on pay-per-view, but that's a fun one to sell. That's a fun one
Now
to
you
sell
got
for
someone
sure.
dangerous, somebody fun. I mean, Ryan Bader's no joke. You can get him early, and he got again here, Luke. But that's perfect, man. And he looked like a killer doing that. It was 1-2.
But this
over.
is what we said. It's not really going to be about defending the takedown. It's about knocking him out before he has to defend the takedown. And it looks like he just did.
Wow.
Not the cleanest stoppage by Kerry Hatley, by the way.
I mean, Kerry Hatley looked like he wasn't going to stop it, but then he looked like he tripped into them, and then he had to stop it. I mean, would you say he kind of bumbled it, Luke?
A little bit.
Maybe
bit.
bungled it. Here's the replay.
Watch. Let's see. He fakes it, draws out. Oh, he faked it, drew out the jab, and then just came right over the top of it. You see that? He faked the kick. You saw Bader move in. He just came right over the top of it. That was really, really nice stuff. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great work by
Hatley
him.
struggled, but it's not a bad stoppage, right? You know what I mean? He was a sloppy
Fakes the leg
stoppage.
kick. Bader comes in. Boom. Comes right over the top and clips him. Just like that. Great work.
Think about it. That reach is ridiculous, Luke. That's a ridiculous reach. I know Francis also has a long reach, but he's a threat.
He's a
He
threat.
could win. He could win against Ngannou, right? It's possible.
Again, gets the jab, punches up. Boom. That's a nice shot. Nice shot. Nicely set up, nicely executed. Well done.
I think the longer a fight in him and with Ngannou would go, though, would be bad for Fajita, Luke. I don't know if he's got like 5-round stamina, right?
No, he definitely, and he doesn't have obviously the experience of a guy like Francis either. But he's fucking enormous, 6'8". He's dangerous. He's the modern day Dan McGee. Excuse me, Gan McGee. Gan McGee. Do you ever see the Gan McGee Tim Sylvia fight?
Yes, I have, Luke.
The main EAC. You're the connected cut it out.
Wow, Joy Gladstone humor working its way in. That's when you know it's almost time. I'm sure they're going to do a face-off here with Fajita and Ngannou. Look,
They showed
this
Francis
doesn't suck.
reacting. He was like, da, 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 you know.
Look, again, this is perfect for PFL. It doesn't suck. So they kind of need Ngannou to lose to AJ, though, right? They really do. They kind of really do.
Yeah, they do. You know, that's a little bit of an early stoppage. I don't know. I mean, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it's a little on the early side.
Is Bader washed, or did he just get caught, Luke?
Nah, a little bit. Well, he's 40. I mean, come on. I know it's heavyweight, and I know he can wrestle. He could probably still win some fights, but yeah, he's mega washed. Look at Don Davis on screen, just on his fucking phone. Just look at him. Look at him.
Maybe he's listening to our live feed.
Maybe he's commenting. He's like, BC, show us some art. Have you painted anything?
I have not. I need to.
Well, that's the best win of Renan Fajeda's career in terms of name value, right? I mean,
Without
Bader is
question.
washed at 40, but that's a
And you
that's a
also
good
want
name
your
to have.
guys peaking. Like he just won the PFL tournament, $1 million. Granted, against like a ragtag post-drug test lineup that they had, but then he comes out and does this to an absolutely legitimate name in Ryan Bader in this main event of their first pay-per-view of the like. This is, there's a lot of pressure on them this year, this calendar year. I don't know if they can even remotely live up to the expectations, but this is like a perfect start. Not perfect, but all things considered perfect for sure.
Well, finally a Bellator fighter won. What's this thing they've got going on where it's like the Infinity Stone they're putting in the belt? Did you see that?
Yeah. Do you think it's rooted in black magic? I bet
You
it
see,
was
I get-
smart Cage's idea.
Whenever I get spam text like, hello, remember when we met at the coffee shop? I always reply with the same thing. I have full-blown AIDS. I do it every
That's not-
time.
That's not the type of humor that that's just unbelievable. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. There's Don Davis with the straight up
Don
the set of
Davis
Dick
looks
Tracy.
Don Davis is in his 60s and he looks like he's making a fist for the very first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. I like the white sneakers with that suit look though. Dan Hardy about to do the interview. Are we going to get the face off though?
Why is everyone out of focus on these fucking
Can we get Ngannou in there, please?
I'd say the crowd is peeling out, but they're just there at their office party. They're just hanging out at the office party, you know? It's
had
it's
to
just
leave
getting
for
started in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, the Dave Ramsey TED Talk on finance was coming up. Look, do we want to close out with the ish after? Oh, Mikey mentioning that Big John moment looked like he was on a hostage video. Yeah, pretty much it kind of did. But PFL is always doing that though. They always work that. They always work people on Zoom into their broadcast for better or worse. Luke, right?
Yes, they do. I don't know how much it works, but they clean. I'll say this: positives. It did look like a bigger show. That was fun. What else can we say about this card?
The action delivered, absolutely, dude. There was,
for the most part, that's not totally true, but there was definitely some high points. Main
Knockout
and co-main
finishes.
delivered. Yeah, main and co-main delivered, and there were some other good ones along the way, for sure.
and Bellator kicked
what-
that ass until they didn't, Luke. Okay.
Bellator whipped their ass until Renan Fajeda had something to say about it. You got Francis there. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
He just
What else,
hugged
BC?
AJ McKee right there. Yo,
I guess they're not
isn't
going to
this
get a
fail?
face-off in the
Okay,
cage.
hold on. Is this a fail? Is he going to the cage or going back to the locker room?
It seems like he's going back to the locker room.
Okay, this is a fail here. Who dropped the ball on this? You have him in the building. Let's go. Hype this. Show us the size of the two next to each other.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Why didn't we get that? There's John Jones.
I mean, what ultimate irony? Francis has left the building. John Jones is the guy standing there. We can't get a face off. PFL won with him knocking out Bader the way he did. They won tonight. Put Francis in the cage. How smart is your cage?
Dude, that's the dumbest fucking cage I've ever seen. Could this
I mean,
cage qualify for National Merit Scholarship on the PSAT? Could it do that?
I mean, look, these moments matter. I'm not going to say BKFC having Conor McGregor in their face-off against Mike Perry mattered. We loved it, but it didn't really matter. This would have mattered. This is how you sell the fight. How do you not? So do you think Francis was like, no, I'm not doing that, dude. I might not even fight for you guys again. I might be heavyweight boxing champion of the world soon. Is that what happened? Is that verbatim?
Maybe he's saying that because the fight is not actually signed, right? They don't actually have any kind of bout agreement or maybe I don't know what it says. But to your point, the guy Francis is the biggest star they have. He's cage side. The guy wins in electric fashion. He's the guy you're supposed to be selling on the pay-per-view. Don't you want to have them?
somebody's at fault here. All right, that's a
Also,
blown
can we just
tire.
say this?
Great moment.
Bellator whooped that ass. That PFL roster is shambles. I mean, it wasn't a totally fair fight because you had Ray Cooper instead of Magomed Karamov. That's a much tougher fight. Same thing, Impa Kasanganay, again, 205 champ, although better suited 185, so that's not quite the same thing. I don't know, though. Like, that wasn't, in general, the Bellator, I mean, we knew the PFL roster was not that great. I would say that it shows that it's not that great.
Yeah, they've got Fajeda on the, I agree with you, and they've got Fajeda on the stage in that king's chair on the throne. Are they going to bring Ngannou from the back WWE style here? What are we doing here, folks?
Champion
I guess not.
of champions.
I guess they're just going to give Fajeda his moment. I mean, it was a beautiful knockout. He was elevated because a few other people got seriously elevated from this evening. I won't say Johnny Eblen seriously got elevated, although that survival is key that he had. I mean, AJ McKee looked like $1 million. Look, who won the night? Was it Jason Jackson beyond Fajeda?
Renan Fajeda or Vadim Nemkov.
That's true. That's true.
Eblen to an extent. Certainly not PFL. I mean, I can tell you that. They just took a fucking bath. They just took a financial bath.
I don't know. They did get the right guy to win. They got the right guy to win in the main event. That matters.
Listen, this was better than most PFL shows that I've seen. This was better than the DC show that I went to. This is one of the better PFL shows, but I think what it also shows is that there's a lot of work about the soul and the identity of the company and what that has to look like at its next stage. And then again, getting access to the premier talent that is currently under lock and key by UFC. That's all going to be a big deal.
They've got Nemkov, Eblen, and Jason Jackson posing together with their Bellator championships. Or maybe no, that's the new belt. I'm sorry, Luke. That's the worthless super fight belt with the ring in it or the power crystal. I don't know what it is, but
the AJ McKee's armbar was super nice. I really like that one.
Okay, how did they not even interview? They didn't even interview Ngannou. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Jason Jackson looked good. He was a bit overmatched, so that's a little different. That Eblen fight was back and forth, son. That was great. Luke,
all right,
BC.
The rest of the ish or just close it out here? What do you want to do?
Let's see some more ish. Let's see it.
Michael, can we pick up on the ish where we left off there? We saw a man get slimed. If you could just give me it.
What's on? Yeah, drugs in public, guys.
Luke, that's hotboxing to a new level there with the shirt. It looked like it was more effort than it needed, right? I mean, just go walk around the corner.
The only problem with these videos is that if these people actually did win Darwin Awards, I want to see the whole process. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not just the early parts, the bad parts.
Well, we normally see a license plate of the week going to the state of Maine. I mean, they were undefeated in this weekly countdown for months, Luke. But how about the nation's capital? Your thoughts?
Hey, that could mean many things. Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano. Could mean many things.
Big bacon cheeseburger. Yes.
Right.
I've enjoyed plenty of BBCs, Luke, in my fast food days. You know what I'm saying?
I bet.
But speaking of that letter combination, Dongs in the Wild is one of my favorite subsegments here on HYSTS. Let's check them out. See if you can find them, Luke. They're like hidden Mickeys. You got to look closely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what, man? That's just really unfortunate that this one here. Is there another fountain I could drink out of? Is there a different one that would be accessible to the public here?
All right, let's head up into the airplane. Oh, no, we didn't have that one. Sorry, that you won't be able to see that field pecker. But now we can go over to the magic trick. This guy's an ex-Copperfield. Luke, I need to acquire that skill. It's clear, right?
I hope that guy who's doing that gets hit by a bus.
Okay, all right. Well, Luke, you're a big fan of critiquing cable management. What do you think of this setup?
I mean, Comcast, I'd be firing those fuckers so quickly.
And I think we found the lost one. Let's go up in the airplane for the final hidden Mickey dong here, if you can find it, Luke. Where's Waldo?
Okay, that one's that takes some effort. That is.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do at the University of Central Arkansas? Learn?
Yeah, that maybe methamphetamine. And then we've got one more for you, Luke. We know how much you love this song and this activity. So what if we married these two together? This is dedicated to Luke Thomas.
Sweet Caroline.
Dude, my favorite is the one where the guy goes over, like he like gets close to someone and then makes like really, really uncomfortable direct eye contact with them.
Yeah, that guy's
and
gross.
And then just lets out like absolutely. I mean, there's no way to describe these other than angry farts. Like, "Urgh."
Yeah, but then like
He's,
he
rubbing
has
your
like
girl.
he has like rapey eyes and he just like stares the people down. That's too gross, dude. That's next level gross. All right, but that was great. That's all the ish that I've got right there for the week. Thank you, Mikey Mormel, for supplying that. But
Hey,
wow,
let's say thanks to everyone who's been in the chat who watched along with us. We appreciate it. We're just trying this out. We're just having some fun. Had some fun. By the way, this was much shorter than I thought it was going to be. I was prepared for at least another hour of this.
Great pacing, big knockouts. They delivered to a certain degree. This pay-per-view delivered. It really did. There were
to a
finishes,
certain degree, sure. I mean, 5 people watched it, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, maybe more than 5 watched this one, but Luke, the people have been asking us at times for more content during this hiatus. I was thinking about BC Live Chat Monday. Let's do it. All right.
Let's do that. What time do you think that might be? Because you know we have a meeting on Monday as well.
1 p.m. I was thinking.
1
but,
p.m.
Maybe
all right. 1 p.m.
Yeah, that's about right. Maybe.
All right.
Yeah,
there it is. BC Live Chat Monday, 1 p.m. East Coast time in the Eastern time zone.
The Morning Combat YouTube channel. So check that ish out if that's what you're
Yes.
about. All right.
Very good, BC. I enjoyed this. I don't enjoy
really
your
fun,
Unabomber.
yeah.
I don't enjoy your Unabomber beard, but other than that, it was good to get back in the saddle again. How about that?
I mean, he had a much fuller beard, didn't he?
I think he was better at math too.
All right. Look, what would you describe what this smells like? The MK Jerkins?
Brazzers.com.
Yeah. the top 10 of the 125-pound division. Yeah. That was some recycled humor. But there you go. Hey, it's been fun, Luke. The thing is, we are pretty good together. At least that with a microphone and camera. You know what I mean? The rest of the time it could be hit or miss, but we are pretty good together. We should probably continue to deliver award-winning content right in people's face hole.
We should. But we're done for the day. So reminder, catch the BC Live Chat Monday at 1 p.m. And in addition to that, some interviews and some other stuff along the way. Stay tuned for more announcements. And thank you one more time to everybody who was around. Subscribe if you haven't. Give a thumbs up if you haven't. We appreciate you tuning in. BC, any final thoughts before we call it a day?
Mikey Mormile, CBS Sports, the heartbeat of America. We love you. Thank you for your support.
Yes. Thanks to Mikey for helping produce this on the ones and twos. And much love to everyone out there. Mwah. We love you. But I'm LT. That's BC. This has been PFL versus Bellator. We had a good time. Enjoy the fights tonight on UFC if you watch. Viva Mexico. And until next time, may all your gains be loyal.